No, I've actually always found something to be very true, which is most people don't get those experiences because they never ask. I've never found anybody that didn't want to help me if I asked them for help. I always call them up. I called up, this will date me, but I called up Bill Hewlett when I was 12 years old, and he lived in Palo Alto. His number was still in the phone book. And he answered the phone himself. He said, yes? He said, hi, I'm Steve Jobs. I'm 12 years old. I'm a student in high school, and I want to build a frequency counter. And I was wondering if you had any spare parts I could have. And he laughed, and he gave me the spare parts to build this frequency counter, and he gave me a job that summer in Hewlett-Packard, working on the assembly line, putting nuts and bolts together on frequency counters. He got me a job in the place that built them. And I was in heaven. And I've never found anyone who said no or hung up the phone when I called. I just asked. And when people ask me, I try to be as responsive, to pay that debt of gratitude back. Most people never pick up the phone and call. Most people never ask. And that's what separates sometimes the people that do things from the people that just dream about them. You gotta act. And you've got to be willing to fail. You've got to be willing to crash and burn, with people on the phone, with starting a company, with whatever. If you're afraid of failing, you won't get very far.
Some shows don't need a celebrity narrator to introduce the show, but this show does. In a world filled with endless opportunities, why would two men who have built 13 multi-million-dollar businesses altruistically invest 5 hours per day to teach you the best practice business systems and moves that you can use? Because they believe in you, and they have a lot of time on their hands. They started from the bottom, now they're here. It's the Thrive Time Show, starring the former U.S. Small Business Administration's Entrepreneur of the Year, Clay Clark, and the entrepreneur trapped inside an optometrist's body, Dr. Robert Zillner. 2 men, 8 kids, co-created by 2 different women, 13 multi-million-dollar businesses.
We started from the bottom, now we're here. We started from the bottom, and we'll show you how to get here. Started from the bottom, now we're here. We started from the bottom, now we're here.
Started from the bottom, now we're at the top, teaching you the systems to get what we got. Colton Dixon's on the hooks, I break down the books. Z's bringing some wisdom and the good looks. As the father of 5, that's why I'm alive. So if you see my wife and kids, please tell them hi. It's the CNC up on your radio, and now 3, 2, 1, here we go.
We started from the bottom, now we're here. We started from the bottom, and we'll show you how to get here. Started from the bottom, now we're here.
Ladies and gentlemen, on today's show, I want to dive into a notable quotable from Napoleon Hill. I want to read it to you. I want you to reflect on it, marinate on it, ruminate on it, and then we're going to talk about how to implement it. The notable quotable from Napoleon Hill, the best-selling author in the history of the self-help space, Napoleon Hill, he once wrote here, he says, "The man of decision cannot be stopped. The man of indecision cannot be started. Take your own choice." What? Says the man of decision cannot be stopped. The man of indecision cannot be started. Take your own choice. So I would say, if you're going to distill this into your office and into your business, what do? Step number 1 is you gather the facts. You just gather the facts. Step number 2 is you act. What? Yeah, you act. Now, once you get into a place where you really are acting, you have to measure and refine. What am I saying? Let's go over it again here. So step number 1, you define what you think the problems are, aka that you gather the facts. Step 2, you act. Step 3, you're going to measure the results. And step 4, you're going to refine. And this is every day as an entrepreneur. Every single day, this is what you do. And I would argue this is the way you type. This is the way you write a book. This is the way you make a script. This is the way you launch your ads. You define, act, measure, refine. But if you're somebody that fears making a decision because it has to be perfect on the first try, you just can't be a successful entrepreneur. And here to talk about it is David, the founder of BunkyLife.com. Again, BunkyLife.com, it's the home of the bolt-on bedrooms, the custom cabins that everybody loves there. Folks, check it out. It's BunkyLife.com. David Frazier, welcome on to the Thrive Time Show. How are you, sir?
I'm doing fantastic, Clay, and thank you so much for having me.
I really want to tap into your wisdom about this idea, though, because I see so many entrepreneurs that tell me, they say, Clay, I want to write a book. I say, great. One of my longtime clients say, I want to write a book. I say, great. And I say, what do you want to write your book about? They say, I want to write my book about my journey to becoming the top insurance agent in my industry, or the top mortgage guy, or the top dentist, or the top whatever. And I'll say, well, let's do it. And they'll say, what do I do? I said, step 1, make a title, working title. Step 2, make the table of contents, working table of contents. Step 3, start writing. And then we'll define, act, measure, refine. And that's where a lot of people get stuck, because they don't want to start until they've nailed down that it's going to be perfect. I want to get your reaction to that. Why is it that people are so afraid of making the wrong decision to the point they won't make any decision?
Well, it's probably boils down to, I mean, thousands of years ago, if you're the guy that stepped a little bit out of line, a bear ate your face off. So I think there's a little bit of a drive in the human psyche to kind of stay inside the herd, and that's the safe kind of spot to be. So I think that you have to kind of overcome that natural inclination, because the reality is entrepreneurship is rewarded by taking risks.
Reward by taking risks. So let me just make it really specific. I'm going to do a lot of examples here back to back to back, and I want to tap into your wisdom on this. So right now, I have a haircut chain. One of the companies I have is a haircut chain. We have a chain of businesses. We cut hair. All right. So Wednesday night at 5:30, I'm going to be interviewing job candidates who are going to come work for us at Elephant in the Room, or candidates who want to work at Elephant in the Room. And I'm going to look at the resumes. I'm going to interview them. I'm going to talk to them, do all the things that I'm going to figure out. I'm going to take the steps needed to find out who I believe is the best. But then after I do that, I'm going to have to hire somebody. And the chances are I will, on average, be right. But there are certain hires, David, where you look back and you say, no, it wasn't the right fit. But all I can do is interview as many candidates as possible, read the resumes, call the references, conduct the interview, and make a call. I mean, at the end of the day, so I do my group interview. Every week I interview candidates. Every week, if I think they're a good fit, I schedule them to shadow in my office. And then every week I go ahead and start the hiring process, and I onboard people that I think are a good fit. But I see a lot of entrepreneurs that struggle with the idea of hiring people because they just cannot fathom the idea of making a hiring decision that doesn't work out. I see it all the time. I mean, do you see this as well within your peer group? Do you see entrepreneurs that struggle to hire people because they're afraid that the person won't be a good fit?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I definitely think I'm one of those people sometimes. It's just like, it feels like this big thing. But the thing that helped me overcome that fear a little bit was people at a higher entrepreneurship level than me said, hey, you know what, you're not really hiring someone for 50 grand a year, 80 grand a year, 100 grand a year. You're really hiring them for the next 2 weeks for about 1 to 3 grand. And then we look at it that way, it's like, oh yeah, it's a mistake that if you catch it early enough, you can undo it pretty quickly. I'm not afraid of it anymore, but I was a little bit at the start.
I see a lot of entrepreneurs that are afraid of hiring people. I see a lot of entrepreneurs that are afraid of decorating their office. As an example, my office, if you come into my office, like it or not, you can there's clearly somebody in my office, aka me, that doesn't have a problem with doing aggressive design. Like, I have no problem doing design that I perceive to be enjoyable. So I've got a massive waterfall in front of our building that I love. I've got a certain playlist in my office that I love. I have decor that I love. But I know a lot of people that, David, for whatever reason, they won't decorate their own office. I go into their office and I say, no, this is a real thing. I've had clients that have told me, they say, Clay, I want to make my office compelling like yours. I say, okay, great. So why don't you send me, because most of my clients are out of town. So why don't you send me video footage of your current office? And you look in their office, and it looks like no one even offices there. And I say, why haven't you just put anything out? Why is there no decor at all? And they say, well, I just didn't want to put out a print that offended somebody. Didn't want to go with the wrong color. Didn't want to go with the wrong. I just want to get your reaction again. I mean, back to these ideas, because again, if you cannot make decisions after gathering all the facts quickly, you cannot become a successful entrepreneur.
Yeah, I think that the reason a lot of people don't kind of put their mark on things is like you said, the risk of offending. But the reality is, if you don't stand for anything or just make any type of a statement, no one can react in any way. It's like milk toast, just kind of melts in your hand. Whereas if you make a strong statement about something that you genuinely believe, ideally, you're going to repel the people you don't want, and you're going to attract the people you do want. And it's actually a double win.
And again, if you're out there today, I'm telling you folks, if you are out there today and you're saying, man, I want to act, I just don't want to get it wrong. The rhythm you got to master here. There's 4 steps: define, act, measure, refine. Define, act, measure, refine. You know, we have a big business conference coming up here featuring Tim Tebow. I've never had Tim Tebow come speak at our business conferences before. I've watched him from afar. I've seen him speak, but I've never had him come to my office. And who knows? I mean, it might be the best decision I've ever made. It might be, wow, this was a great decision. Good job bringing in Tim Tebow. I've also had other speakers I brought in the past, David, where I think to myself, I'm never going to bring in that person again. You know, so when we have our workshops, I mean, people on average love the workshops. People do. They tell us, man, Clay, I love the workshops. I'm so glad we have so many great reviews, but we don't have a 5.0 rating. We have a 4.9. And if you read the reviews, certain people say, it just felt too raw. It felt too candid. It wasn't politically correct enough. And certain people didn't like it. Other people love it. And again, I'm just trying to help somebody out there get over that fear of rejection, that fear of bringing in Tim Tebow for the conference, that fear of launching an advertisement that won't work, the fear of hiring the wrong person, the fear of choosing the wrong logo, the fear of choosing the wrong color scheme. I just want to help somebody out there. And I don't struggle to make decisions, but I see it as a common problem with many wonderful clients I've had the opportunity to serve. They just really struggle with making decisions. What would you say to somebody out there that's even, worried about putting on a conference for look of embarrassment, or worrying about speaking at an event for fearing that they might get rejected publicly? What are your thoughts?
Okay, so what I always say is the root word of decision comes from some type of a Greek word for to cut off, to sever off. So you think about yourself standing at a fork in the road, and you have to sever off one of the paths. You have to choose one and cut off the idea that you could have chosen the other path. So a lot of people think that they can somehow go down both paths, but you really can't. You can't ride 2 horses. You can't take 2 paths. So at a fork in the road, you have to cut off the life that you could have had you went the other way. That's the first thing that I always think about. And the reality is, if you don't make a decision, you've made a decision to sit around and do nothing and stare at 2 paths. So there really isn't an option in a lot of scenarios where you can't make a decision. You are making one by just sitting around and avoiding actually choosing one of the 2 paths. You have to be able to cut off the potential of path 1 and choose path 2, or vice versa. Otherwise, you are going to be paralyzed and never move forward.
Now, this is not a passive-aggressive attempt to attack and or criticize your products, but I'll just say this. You go to bunkylife.com. You've got a lot of different wonderful products that people now love. People now love these products. I mean, you're selling many of them. People love them. But I'm sure at one point, at some time, you designed something that you thought, well, that probably wasn't a good idea, or, whoa, that wasn't a good one. I'm not looking for the specific design that didn't work, but what is your process now for introducing a new product at bunkylife.com?
So if we get continual demand for something and we love the idea and we can make it ourselves in a cost-effective way, then we'll consider it. Otherwise, if it doesn't reach those 3 criteria, we don't even consider something. So there's lots of times people want us to make tiny homes or showers or things like all this random side stuff. But for us, we just got to zoom in and get better on making the things we already make better. And we feel like that is a better strategy, as opposed to like just offering everybody the bizarre, like going to a flea market and we've got bunkies and we've got showers and we've got camels and we've got, clowns juggling chainsaws. We want to be very zoomed in on, we make the world's easiest to build bunkie that you can build in the weekend.
Now, I'm going to go ahead and pull up the website one more time. And in closing here, I want to make sure we're getting this idea. I'm going to repeat this notable quotable from Napoleon Hill. He says, the man of decision cannot be stopped. The man of indecision cannot be started. Take your own choice. So on part 2 of today's show, I'm going to introduce the listeners to a wonderful longtime client by the name of Paul Solon. He has a company called Outside Inc. They do outside irrigation. They do outside. They basically take let me pull it up real quick here. It's Outside Inc. They basically will take your backyard that you are currently frustrated with and turn it into a place where people want to go and visit. They really do a great job with the landscaping. And I want you to hear his success story. But again, he did a very good job of deciding, you know what, I'm going to reach out to you guys. I'm going to fill out the form. I'm going to talk to you. I'm going to see if it's a good fit. And he's having massive success, but he had to make some decisions there. So what do you say to some entrepreneur who's watching right now that's saying, man, I'm thinking about going to monkeylife.com. I'm thinking about buying up one of these things. What do you say to somebody? What's kind of your pitch to somebody who's thinking about deciding to buy a bolt-on bedroom?
Well, the reality is, if you think about puttering around on this decision, another year is going to go by. And so basically you are making a decision to not add extra space, to not be able to host your friends and family, to not have that backyard office. So like we were saying earlier, you ultimately got to decide. And if you say, hey, I'm going to choose to tough it out with whatever my situation is for another year or 2 or 3, that's fine. Make that decision. But if you don't want to have an embarrassing stay every time your in-laws or your friends and family want to come visit, if you don't want to have kids screaming in the background on every single Zoom call and every single client call, if you don't want to have basically no escape from your current house, then give us a call, 1-866-4BUNKY. We'd love to talk about how we could potentially add some extra space to your backyard.
Are most people buying a bunkie to be kind of an escape room for their own house, like their own like private office, own kind of getaway? Or most people buying a bunkie to be a bolt-on bedroom, like a guest bedroom? Or what's the most common reason people buy a bolt-on bedroom?
It's definitely bolt-on bedroom is the number one thing. If say you have a small cottage and you want everyone to be able to come for the weekend, or even a smaller house, you want your in-laws to come. That's number one. And then number two is definitely the home office or extra space for hobbies or office business stuff.
David, I greatly appreciate you carving out time for us today. Thank you for doing that. And again, folks, check it out. It's bunkylife.com, bunkylife.com. And on part 2 of today's show, this is a wonderful listener out there, folks, just like you, who decided to reach out. He's increased his lead flow by 10 times, and we're going to share with you his success story. Thanks again, David. We'll talk to you soon.
Thanks, Clay. Appreciate it.
I mean, I remember some bills of $4,500 a month just to get leads that I was having to pay for. And that's only get a lead and a contact, to where now I'm paying you $1,700 a month, and I got 80 some leads last week alone, and I paid you $1,700. And to me, that was huge for my industry. That was one huge thing that just blew me away.
Okay, folks, money is a magnifier. That's what it is. Money's a magnifier. It's an amplifier. It just makes you more of who you already were. So as an example, if you're a complete jerk and you make a lot of money, you'll become a bigger jerk. And on today's show, we're interviewing a longtime client who's a really nice, kind, decent person. He doesn't claim to be perfect, nor do I think that he's perfect, but he's a guy that I use over and over and over. I utilize his services to plant trees and do landscaping for my family, for my business, because I really enjoy him as a person. I consider him to be a friend, and it's been awesome helping him magnify and grow his business. And without any further ado, we have the founder of Outside Inc., Paul Sullins. Welcome onto the Thrive Time Show. How are you, sir?
Doing good, Clay. Thank you for having me.
So, Paul, I got to ask you here, and correct me if I'm wrong. I'm looking at your tracking sheet, which for anybody out there who's a client, we look at the tracking sheet. And last week you had 89 leads. So 89 people reached out to you to inquire about hiring you to do landscaping, pool maintenance, backyard work for them, outside remodeling kind of work. And then I'm looking at your tracking sheet like a year ago, and you were getting like 4 or 5 leads on a weekly basis. Can you maybe walk the listeners through what it feels like to be on the receiving end of 89 inbound leads in 1 week?
It's a little scary, to be straight honest with you. It's awesome just to know that the amount of work up front that we put in is actually paying off. You see these people, you hear all these things, and you're like, hey, it's going to be there, and it's been kind of mind blowing to sit there and one of my office ladies comes in and goes, we've got 56 calls in one day right after a rainstorm. And to actually realize the work and the effort that we put in is actually coming to fruition. It's been amazing.
Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up your website, and I'm going to showcase what you do so people can get a little context to know you're not a hologram. Outside Inc. Irrigation. Outside Inc. Irrigation is one of the websites. Also, folks, if you do a search on Google for Outside Inc., and the word Tulsa. You can find the website outsideinc.co. So 2 different websites there. And when you go to outsideinc.co, we look at the services you provide. It's French drainage, it's landscaping. You do monthly home maintenance. If you look at the irrigation services, you guys are doing irrigation system repair and installation. So you're not the only guy in your market who's providing irrigation systems or French drains, but you're consistently getting a lot of leads. So I want to focus on the 4 aspects of business growth. There's a lot of them we could focus on, but I want to focus on 4 today. The first is marketing. You've got to get reviews from happy customers. Every single week I harass you about this, and every week you show up with more, but these are actual customers that have actually done business with you. Can you talk about the importance, and I'll hit play, but I'll hit mute as I'm playing these. Can you talk about the importance of gathering objective video reviews from real customers each and every week? What kind of value has that made when you're even talking to prospective clients?
It's made a lot of difference. I mean, a lot of the phone calls, we'll sit there and go, "Hey, we're the highest rated, most reviewed company in Tulsa. We do all these things," and they're like, "Yeah, we know. We went to your website, and we saw the clients speak about what you had doing, what you had done around their houses, and how well you communicated with them, and that's how we decided to work with you guys." So it's just, I've put on so many different client reviews and interviews on the webpage, and it's been completely different, through some of your training and seeing some of your different videos from the business shows that you put on, Clay. I've noticed that we don't have to have the best looking and the most entertained TV produced videos. It's just getting videos of real people in their backyards, in their yards, and actually talking about you as a person and the products that we've done for them and how they've enjoyed it.
How often, when you meet somebody, and again, we're focused just on marketing right now, when you meet with somebody, how often does the potential buyer reference the fact that they've watched a video review or have looked at examples of video reviews on your website as a percentage? Like, how often do they reference, "Yeah, I've seen some of the videos," or "I've seen some testimonials"?
Percentage wise, I would say at least 25 to maybe 50%.
Yeah.
I have a couple different sales guys, and I have some ladies answering the phones here. And I mean, I'm hearing it all the time. I've got an office right next to the lady answering the phone. And, she goes, "Hey, how did you hear about us?" "Well, we Googled you." And then it's like, "Oh, hey, this, this, this." And they were like, "Oh yeah, we already looked at your website and saw all the views, all the video reviews you've done." So, I mean, it's all the time. It might be more than that, but I would say in the neighborhood of 25 to 40%.
And again, if you're talking about marketing, folks, we're talking about marketing. It's VISM. There's other details, but everyone needs to remember this. VISM, video reviews, images, search engine content, more reviews. Let's hop on to images. You're constantly gathering images of your projects. So it's not an event. I think a lot of people think planting a garden is an event, and it's not an event. I think people think that getting married is an event. It's not an event. I think people think that raising a child is an event. It's not an event. It's a process. Every week you're gathering images, before and after images of projects you've done. How has that paid off? Just the consistency of adding before and after images of projects.
It's been it's actually done it quite well. It gets my guys, number one, it helps my staff and us know that, number one, because as the owner of the business, you can't be on every job, as you grow, it helps me know that the guys are doing what I'm wanting them to do in the field. My company is actually being portrayed the way I want it to be portrayed. But then also, people always look at a company and look at, we pull up in a nice fancy truck and they're like, "Oh, these guys, all they're going to do is the big fancy jobs." And not all our jobs are big and fancy. I mean, we talk and we work for the average Joe, the average person in the background. So when they're able to look on, and see some of these photos of it, just a little small French drain, or we poured a little 10 by 10 concrete patio, it actually helps us relate better to the clients and the customers in the field. I feel just having all those videos and pictures.
Just to be super clear, again, video reviews, got to get them every week. Images of projects, you do a great job with that. Search engine content, our team handles the optimization, the ongoing updates on the website, so you don't have to mess with that. How much does that help knowing you, or for you knowing that you don't have to go in to your website and figure out how to code and update a website every week?
There's no way I'd be where I'm at if I had to sit there and mess with that. Running a company, a lot of people always say starting your business is an easy thing. It's managing it and keeping on top of it. And these little details like this, I mean, we're in the age now, word of mouth is one way, but everybody's going to Google and going to your websites to see see how to get hold of you. And that's the marketing we are in today, society. And I think that is super important to have that up and running. And when I don't have to mess with it, it has blown me away because I mean, I got to deal with my employees, I got to deal with all this other stuff. And so it's just a huge peace of mind to know that that's just taken care of. I don't have to mess with it at all.
Now, so again, we go back to this VISM, and I think one way we learn is through repetition, video reviews, images, search engine content, the ongoing optimization of the website. We handle that for all of our clients. And then M, more reviews. We're never done getting reviews. And so right now, if somebody goes to Google and they do a search right now and they type in Tulsa tree planting, which is how I originally heard about you. Was I was looking to plant trees at one of my properties. I went to a church called Church on the Move, a really wonderful church that at the time was led by Pastor Willie George. And the trees looked incredible on the property. And so I kept asking people, who does the trees, who's doing the work? And I kept hearing your name. And that's how I first met you. And now today, when someone types in Tulsa tree planting, you come up top in the search results, 703 reviews. You're constantly getting video reviews, images, search engine content, more reviews. Let's talk about that for a second. How much has it helped you to have the most Google reviews, in addition to video, but the most Google reviews?
It gives you validity. I really think with people, I kind of tell this to people all the time is like how I talk to my buddies of mine that own businesses or in any kind of a service industry, and I'm like, what do people do nowadays? They go to Google, they Google. They're Googling for French drains, they're Googling for this, they're Googling where to go eat. And if to be at the top of Google gives you the opportunity to actually talk to a client and to bid it. Now, we still have to go out and sell the job to the client, but it's been very important and very helpful to be able to be at the top to be able to get that. I don't know if I quite answered your question.
No, this is great. And you've got the 4 aspects of business I want to focus on today. Again, step 1, marketing and branding. We covered that. The web branding is just anything people see, the website, the print pieces, the logo, the auto wraps. We handle all that with you. We do a lot of that work behind the scenes. That's marketing and branding. The second step is sales. Sales is converting an ideal and likely lead or an ideal and likely buyer into an actual buyer. And I believe that a lot of times, and I've worked with companies in the past that helped me with my marketing when I was first starting djconnection.com. And I would say, well, yeah, I'm getting a lot of leads, but I'm not selling anything. And they would say, we don't really help with that. We just focus on the marketing or just the branding or just, I want to get your thoughts on the sales thing. You do a very good job of tracking. I won't share your tracking numbers on today's show, but you do a very good job of tracking. This is how many leads that came in. This is how many people bought. How has that helped you measuring and tracking your sales?
Number one, it helps me because as I've grown, I've got multiple salesmen that work with me. Number one, I'm able to see what my guys in the field are selling every week. And it also gives me time and to see, or not time, but gives me the capabilities of looking and seeing how our ebbs and flows are in my business. Because I'm an outdoor service company. So in the springs and the falls, it's able to see when I need to gear up for employees, when I need to gear up and get guys ready for stuff, when our downtimes are. So, over the last 2 years, I'm able to go back and look at going, hey, January and February is going to be real slow. December. So I really need to start as a business owner in October, September and October, start pushing sales and start finding different ways to be able to get more business to keep my guys going so we can book out over that time. So if I wasn't able to track my sales, my leads coming in, the jobs were sold, I wouldn't know. You get so busy in your day in, day out, you don't focus on that stuff. And, me meeting with you every week as a business coach and able to sit there and look at that stuff every week, you get trained to be able to look at that stuff and be able to see stuff ahead as you're growing your business, and not looking in the rearview mirror going, man, I wished I would have kept that going, or wished I would have known about that 6 months ago, because then I would have been able to adjust then to help us now. And now I'm sitting there going, hey, I got to make money to pay bills, and we got to get some jobs sold, and I'm working in the rearview mirror trying to get stuff closed that we should have been working on 3 to 4 months ago.
Now, most of the clients I work with, I charge clients a flat rate of $1,700 a month plus a small percentage of growth. And the idea is hopefully I'm the cheapest employee that you have. So you look at it and you go, okay, I'm paying this guy $1,700 a month. Okay, hopefully I'm the least expensive person on the payroll, the least expensive line item. But over time, once we produce fruit, hopefully that small percentage of growth, that small percentage of the growth makes it all worth it, and so that's the idea, is to achieve that true win-win. And so the third aspect of the business coaching I wanted to cover on today's show is management. So you look at a great project like this, you got to do marketing, branding, true. Step 2, you got to do sales, but 3, you got to manage. And I think that most people who are self-employed feel sort of isolated and annoyed. I feel like most self-employed people feel isolated and annoyed. They feel like, am I the only one seeing the level of jackassery that is often allowed in the American workplace today? And I have to work with all my wonderful clients to teach best practice management systems. And I think you do a fine job of that. That's something that you, in my opinion, is one of your strengths. You do a very good job of communicating the expectations directly to the client, and you manage those expectations. You tell the client, hey, Mr. Smith, hey, Miss Smith, we're going to have your pool, your pool remodel, or your pool fix, or your pool house fixed, or your outdoor siding project, your outdoor landscaping. We're going to have your retaining wall. We're going to have whatever the project is. We're going to have it done by this particular day. It's going to cost this amount of money. And you do a very good job of managing that relationship with the client, and then managing those employees behind the scenes. Can you talk to us about the importance of just mastering management techniques?
Well, I don't know if anybody's ever a master. One of the things I've learned, and I've had clients over and over in my field sit there and go, man, when you said you were there, you were there. You were there every time you said you were going to be there. And you did what you said you were going to do. And that, number one, I like to be a man of my word. I mean, I like to be able to tell people when we're going to be there. I work in the outdoor industry. I mean, it rains. We're in Oklahoma, so there, you're going to have delays. But setting those expectations with the clients, number one, helps me for to be able to go, hey, it's rained. I can't get it. We've been delayed because of this. And setting those expectations up front makes for a happy end product with your clients. And just going through the process, say, hey, right, even when I sell the job, I'm like, hey, we're the highest rated, most reviewed, company in Tulsa right now, and here's the reason why. But that also comes with, we're really busy. We're not going to be able to get to you tomorrow. And the thing is, the people that can get to you tomorrow are probably not going to give you the best product. And setting those expectations with the clients up front, letting them know, hey, we're going to be a little behind. We're 6 weeks out, we're 8 weeks out, and letting that client know that, and then keeping them up to date. Then the client knows, hey, they just didn't take my deposit, or they just didn't take this and just disappeared. They know that, hey, we're coming down, we're there, we're still there, we're going to get it done. So I think that's one of the things that's helping really to set with your clients, and it makes it important to them at the end, because they know, I mean, some of these jobs are an investment for their backyard. It's a lot of money for them on some of these projects. And it's just like, buying a house, you want to know that you're getting what you're paying for, and it's going to be there when you expect it to be there.
And we could share just hundreds of video testimonials or Google reviews. I'm just showing some examples here. But again, the final area I wanted to cover on today's show, again, I'm just making sure we're recapping. Marketing and branding, that's how you generate leads. Second step is sales. You convert ideal and likely buyers into sales. 3 is management. You have to manage the expectations. And then the final step is accounting and what I would classify as merit-based pay. At the end of the day, it's not how much money you make, it's how much you keep. And I just don't think that most people think about that when they're growing a business. And that's becoming an increasingly part of our ongoing conversations, is making sure that, because you're the kind of guy that quotes a customer a price and you hold yourself accountable to not changing your bid on the client. But that doesn't mean that subcontractors or employees won't try to change the game on you and all of a sudden drive up your expenses. So can you talk about that final step of just the accounting? Because I think a lot of entrepreneurs, when they look out for them, when they reach out for a business coach or a consultant, they don't think about the accounting. But I would argue, as we continue to grow Outside Inc., the accounting aspect of your business is becoming a bigger part.
I firmly agree. I just come out of a meeting talking about accounting and bills and what's coming in, fresh on my mind, And as you grow your business, one of the things I think as you're young, you're just trying to get jobs done. You're just trying to get whatever you can go. But as you grow, it becomes a huge part. It becomes, I think, more than what most people think it's going to be. And getting, keeping the money and keeping the accounting, it's just like this last year, Clay, me and you'd been talking about, doing merit based. Because I think if you pay people enough where they're comfortable, they stay there. They don't want to grow. As your business grows, you want to grow. You want to give them more money. Most people want more money. I think everybody would, not frown against getting some extra money, but as a business owner, you want your salesmen, you want your guys out there in the field wanting to be able to make more money. And if you just keep them on an hourly basis, there's no growth for them to perform better and to make more money. So this last year, I've switched my sales guys to 100% commission. I used to have them above base, and I put them over to commission. And the amount of calls of clients looking for their bids has got cut down in over half. He's selling more jobs by, I would say, 30 to 40%, maybe even more than that, since we've been tracking it. And it's made a huge thing. Because the thing is, if he doesn't sell, he doesn't get paid any money. And so, especially when you find people that are eager to make more money, they're going to sell more.
This is one thing I wanted to bring up, and I'll let you go here because I know you're a busy guy here. For anybody out there that doesn't know this, when I built my first company called DJconnection.com, after every event we did, I was obsessive about calling the bride after the wedding and asking them to leave us an objective review. Now, this is before Google was super relevant. So we had Wedding Wire and the Knot.com and those kind of things, or we would get video testimonials on an old school video camera we had back in the day. We would archive them. And at a certain point, I remember I talked to a bride and she said to me, "You have thousands of video testimonials." And I said, "Oh yeah, absolutely." And then now today, people go to thrivetimeshow.com, they click on testimonials. And I had a call I had just the other day with a wonderful man. And he was saying to me, "I was going through your testimonials and I had to stop around like page 30 because I kept looking at the testimonials. And I realized there is really no end in sight. I mean, I'm looking at this and there's like years after years after years of video testimonials." And I said, "Well, yeah, because we document that. That's a very important thing that we do." But I want to ask you this question. For anybody out there that's thinking about coming to one of our workshops or scheduling a free 13-point assessment with myself to go over how to grow their company, what would you say, or maybe what kind of impact do you think that business coaching with our program has made on your business?
It's been huge. One of the things I've loved, the problem is a lot of times with business owners I feel, especially with me, we come from, for my instance, I call it W-2 employee status, working for somebody and decide, hey, I'm going to go out here and start my own business. Well, I didn't go to business school. Nobody's told me the next steps, what I really need to focus on. Because as you grow this business, like, what is it? You can read 1,000 books. And what's made it huge for me is to be able to come along, have you come along beside me and something go, hey, you need to focus on this and this is why. You need to focus on this and this is why. Because when we get down in what I call the trenches as a business owner, you're sitting there going, man, if all you do is focus on that, you can never focus on what you really need to do. You can't focus on your accounting and stuff like that. And it's been amazing. It's actually, I don't know how much it's grown my company so far in the last 2 years, but the peace of mind is unreal, because I'm not looking at my numbers at the moment, but it has been huge. It's just like, I used to have to pay, I think we were paying in the neighborhood of $4,000 a month just for leads, just to get leads in now. 2 years ago, I mean, this time of the year, I remember some bills of $4,500 a month just to get leads that I was having to pay for And that's only get a lead and a contact, to where now I'm paying you $1,700 a month, and I got 80 some leads last week alone, and I paid you $1,700. And to me, that was huge for my industry. That was one huge thing that just blew me away.
And I'll say this too. You are a client that's more private about your numbers. That just goes with your personality type. I have some of my clients are a little bit more flashy. They love to talk about their gross sales and their sales. But I can say this, I was looking at year over year. So you take the month of May when we're recording this, and you look at this week last year, and last week you had 8 leads. So last year, this week you had 8 leads from what I can tell on the tracking sheet. And this week we had 89. So whatever that's worth for anybody out there. And again, we have some of our clients that like to talk about gross sales, and Paul keeps it more private, and that's totally fine. So I just encourage everybody out there, you can have a 10-fold increase in your number of leads, your amount of activity. You can do it, but you got to be a diligent doer. You can't just be a hearer of these words. You have to implement what you're learning. And Paul, I really appreciate you for making the Thrive Time Show World Headquarters look incredible. Thank you for the maintenance you provide. Thank you for the work you provide. And again, it's been awesome serving you. So again, thanks for your time today, sir.
Hey, thank you, Clay. Have a great day, bud.
Take care. Bye.
All right, bye.
I'm Glenn Shaw, owner of Shaw Homes in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Started the company in 1985. At that time, it was one employee doing everything, me. I met Aaron Antis in 2007. The top 3 things that Aaron did for Shaw Homes was he brought in processes that helped us be able to repeat over and over. He brought in unique hiring skills. He was able to find the right people for the right seat on the bus. And Aaron brought sales techniques that we weren't familiar with up until that time. When Aaron came, we were selling about 80, 85 houses a year. And during the 16-year period, we saw sales get up over 400. Before I met Aaron, the only sales manager we had was myself, and I was completely unable to perform that job. And so Aaron brought major changes and great results with them. In the many years that I was building houses before Aaron, I was great at selling if somebody wanted to buy. But they had to be knocking on my door asking me to sell them a house before I could actually make that sell. I had no sales techniques and no ability to generate sales. Aaron coming in as a natural salesperson just absolutely transformed that and made the sales experience better for the company and better for our buyers. Well, prior to Aaron, I would work all week for the company. I'd sit in a model home over the weekend, and I had a salesperson or two, but I was actually out there all weekend working that. Since hiring Aaron, I was able to take my weekends off, even reduce my workload during the week. I went from working 60, 70 hours a week to almost a normal workload. So I've been a member of the Builder 20 program in the National Association of Home Builders for 20 years. And during that time, I've seen a lot of sales managers with the other companies that have been involved. And in my opinion, Aaron is smarter and sharper than any sales manager of any builder that's ever been in our group. Now, some markets, they don't have to try to sell, they just sell themselves. But with the ability to sell and to train and hire, Aaron was better than any of those sales managers that were in my program. Well, I remember when I considered hiring Aaron many years ago, the thought of spending the extra money was a little scary. But in hindsight, it was one of the best things I've ever done. It freed my time, increased our sales, and at the end of the day, increased our profitability beyond my wildest expectations. Years ago, I was concerned that if I didn't do whatever a customer asked me to do, it might be the last house I sold. And so over time, we were able to move away from unlimited customization to pre-designed options. The problem that we were having in those days is that the customer would tell us what they wanted, but they didn't really know what they wanted. And we would deliver exactly what they told us to do, and they wouldn't be happy with it. So as we became more standardized, we give lots of options, but we don't customize. And in the end, that allows us to sell more homes for better margins than spending countless hours trying to customize in just every avenue of the sales process. We get weekly reports on sales, on profitability, on production, and it provides all the management tools that I need to review the company from a 10,000-foot level.
All right, Thrive Nation, on today's show, what we're going to focus on is how to grow a successful company. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up a graphic that is the theory of how to grow a successful company, but vision without execution is hallucination. And so if you go to thrivetimeshow.com/millionaire, you can download a book that I have written called A Millionaire's Guide, How to Become Sustainably Rich. You can download it for free at thrivetimeshow.com/millionaire, but you have to actually implement that which is in the book. And so on today's show, we're joined by a very successful person in the home building business, a great friend of mine, a man by the name of Aaron Antis. Aaron Antis, welcome on to the Thrive Time Show. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great, Clay. Thanks for having me on.
Hey, so I got to ask you this for the people out there that want to prove you're not a hologram. First off, what's the website for your company so people can verify that you are, in fact, a real business?
You bet. It's shawhomes.com. SHAWHOMES.com. Shawhomes.com.
I'm pulling it up, shawhomes.com. Pulling it up. That's the website, shawhomes.com.
Yep.
And when you and I met, before we met, you had been already very successful as a home builder. You turned your dream of being a home builder guy into reality.
Yeah.
So how many homes had you sold, or what kind of sales had you done in your career as a home builder guy before you and I even met?
Before we met, probably about 750 million in sales prior to meeting you.
And then you did the year we first started working together. What were the sales totals that year?
We were at like 19 million.
19 million. And then when you ended 2022, obviously we're in 2023, and so we'll see how this year ends. But as far as ending 2022, how much sales did you do last year at the end of 2022?
2022, we were at like 84 million.
Okay, so from 19 million to
84 million.
84 million. So you're doing some things right here. And what we're going to try to do is kind of demystify the plan here. Okay, so here we go. So establishing revenue goals.
Yep.
When you and I first started working together, we started off with a 13-point assessment. We went over your goals.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to ask you to share your goals on the air, but why is it important that you have goals?
Well, I mean, goals are sort of your guideposts that, you set something out there in front of you and you start chasing after it. And without that, you're just kind of floundering in mediocrity. You don't have any reason to get up in the morning and really get after it. And so, I think goals are, you can have lots of different types of goals. And we've talked about a lot of this. We've talked about, having financial goals and having, fitness goals and having friendship goals and just all these different areas. I know you've got the F6, so that's kind of something that, we touched on very early on. You asked me, like, is one of your goals more income or is it more time? And so I said, well, really at this point, it's more income. And then later it became more time. So, it's changed over the time I've known you since 2016. We're going on 7 years and the income went up considerably. So now it's, turned in the last couple of years towards more time.
Now, the break-even numbers, again, I'm not asking you for the numbers on the show, but you guys have a lot of fixed costs. I mean, if you go to shawhomes.com, you've got framers, you have plumbers, you have the tile people, you have so many skilled people, you have a full-time sales team, you have an admin staff. And if you don't sell a house, you still have the service of the land, you still have all the overhead. Why is it important for every listener out there to know their break-even point? How many deals they need per month just to break even?
Well, yeah, because you're going backwards real quick, and it doesn't take very long if you're at the beginning of your business. It doesn't take very long for you to be in a place where, the creditors are knocking at your door and you're, you can't pay your bills, and all of a sudden you're going to lose all your for us, all of our trades, all of our suppliers are going to start backing out. So, you've got to know what that number is that lets you tread water, so that, okay, this is the worst case scenario. Everything above that, at least I'm into the profit zone. So, you go out of business pretty quick. Most businesses don't last more than just a few months if they get below that break-even number. So
now, folks, again, these might seem like simple steps, but they're all the linear steps you have to take to create time freedom and financial freedom. And if you want to grow your company, this is how you do it. Box number 3, though, is you have to know the hours you're willing to work. Now, your incredible wife is here off camera for accountability. So at any point, she could yell like, "Hey, man," or "Boo." But you guys are on the same page with the hours you're willing to work. And you guys, as a couple, I want to brag on both of you. You guys both committed to sacrificing time and energy and a lot of things to get to where you're at in life.
Yeah.
And then as you had your children, you raised them, you decided to devote time to raising said kids. Yeah. And now that your kids are older, you're devoting time to raising these kids. So it's not like you abdicated being a parent while also growing a company. You did both well. I'd love to get your thoughts on sitting down with your spouse, if you're watching this today, or your significant other, and making sure you're on the same page about how many hours per week you're willing to work.
Well, yeah, I mean, you don't want to grow a business to, make a whole bunch of money just so you can split it in half later.
Oh,
because that's kind of what happens when you don't work out those details ahead of time. And so my wife and I have been married 25 years. We've been together for 4 before that. And so yeah, 26. Did I just say 25?
But real quick, I hate to do this to you.
I just got in trouble.
I hate to. Your wife just turned 27 on Thursday, and what you said is 100% false. Okay, so the unique value proposition here. Now let's talk about this. Whether it's growing a home building company, or a dog training business, or a haircut chain, or a carpet cleaning franchise, or whatever business we're involved in helping to grow, you have to sit down as a listener out there, as a business owner. You got to figure out what makes your company unique.
Absolutely.
So I want to ask you, what makes Shaw Homes unique in the marketplace with other home builders?
Yeah, we have more furnished and decorated model homes than any other builder in the market. So, a lot of times people, when they walk into a home and they're trying to decide if they like the floor plan, the layout, whatever, most builders in our market have an empty house that they walk into. It's just kind of echoes when you walk through it. There's no furniture or anything. And we completely, as you can see in this little video here, we completely furnish and decorate it, make it beautiful. We are the most award-winning builder in the state of Oklahoma.
That's true.
We've won like 5 times as many awards as any other builder in the market. So definitely that is one of our big, takeaways.
And I'm going to throw you under the bus real quick, and I don't mean to do this super passively aggressively. It'll just be more of a subtle passive aggressive. When I met you, you guys had all these awards, but no one knew.
That's true.
It was like this weird, bizarre thing where you had all these awards. I remember talking to you, and I'm like, "What makes you guys different?" And you're like, "We do a good job." And you're being nice about it. You're a good salesperson. But I said, "Well, tell me about the awards." And you're like, "Well, we got this award, that award,
this is true.
This award." Like 45 minutes later, it's like that award. This award, I need to shave now. This award, that award, I need to go brush my teeth. This award, that award, I want to go mow the lawn now. This award, that award, I'm thinking about retiring. This award, that my kids are turning 18. I can see it. This award, you're just going, and this award, and that award. And so we put those on the website, and that helped. And the other thing you guys we needed to change was all these people were saying great things, but we didn't have video reviews of them saying it on camera.
Right.
So it was like your online reputation didn't match your real world reputation. It's so much good momentum there, and so many people loved you guys. And now you guys have, would you say, 100 video reviews?
Oh gosh, I would say more than that. We have a lot.
And every week
you could just keep scrolling and scrolling and scrolling.
I was scrolling.
And this is actually all that's on this page. If you go to our YouTube channel, we have way more than this. So yeah.
So again, and this is all the stuff. You're going to grow a successful company, folks. Step 1, you got to figure out your revenue goals. Step 2, you got to figure out your break-even goals. Step 3, sit down for an hour of power. Sit down with your spouse. Make sure that you guys are on the same page of your hours you're willing to work. Step 4, unique value proposition. Figure out what it is that makes you unique. And we have an in-depth guide that you can download for free at thrivetimeshow.com/millionaire if you get stuck. Next box, you got to improve your branding, your website, your one sheet, in your case, model home presentations, business cards, social media branding. Everything that a customer sees needs to be first class. And I was talking to a guy named Ronnie Morales today, and it's Morales Brothers. I think you met him at a conference. He told me this, and I'm not slamming Ronnie. Ronnie, if you're listening, I'm not slamming you. This is the real thing. Ronnie said he listened to our show for 7 consecutive years, before ever reaching out. And now he's reached out and he's up 57% in about 8 months.
That's awesome.
And we're going to put his story on part 2 of today's show because he's in Texas
cool.
and he's 7 years behind you.
Yeah.
But he's doing a great job.
Good for him.
What do you think that thing is where people have bad branding and they are not, is it, we're not aware of it? Is it someone hasn't brought it to our attention? What causes bad branding?
You know, the number one thing I hear business owners say is, well, you know, I don't really need good branding because I sell everything by word of mouth.
Oh yeah, baby.
Like I've got such an incredible reputation
You do.
that everybody just comes to me by word of mouth.
Yeah.
And then it's like, okay, yeah, but how much business did you do last year? Well, not very much. And, you know, I'm really unprofitable, but I've got great, you know, reputation out there and I get a lot of word of mouth. So when people switch over to starting to improve branding, I know you helped us a lot with that in just creating a lot better looking website, creating you know, we've got an office environment now that is, when people walk into our model home, they are blown away. We truly wow our customers when they come to our model homes.
Yep.
It's a one-of-a-kind experience in the state of Oklahoma. And the process of that, you know, just going through branding it so that it looks really top notch. And, you know, that includes everything from, you know, marketing to all of your senses and everything else. So it just really brought us to another level. And when the customer comes in and experiences us after having walked through other builders' homes, they usually come in and go, you guys are just on a whole nother level.
It's sights, sounds, smells, experiences, everything that your customer sees, they're grading you on. And you might not know that they are even judging you because they're not filling out the form. And I have a funny story to share with you that's kind of sad. I was working with a fitness guy years ago, and I'm not going to tell you what state he's in or what city, folks, but I know you want to know, but I'm not going to tell you. And he filled out the form because his wife wanted him to schedule a 13-point assessment. He did not want to.
Yep.
And he tells me, Clay, honestly, I'm just doing the call because my wife wants me on the phone. And I got to, I don't get leads from social media. I don't get leads from marketing. I get all my leads word of mouth, like you were saying. And I said, well, let me just do this. Let's just, this first month working together, let me get all the passwords for your Facebook, your Google, your YouTube. And I'm just, as the first month, we do this with every single client.
Yeah.
We optimize your YouTube, your Facebook, your Instagram, your Twitter, your, you know, all that.
Yep.
We log on. This is a fitness guy. He was spending like $400 a week every week on ads.
Yeah.
And he hadn't known, he wasn't aware that every time a lead came in, it got stuck in Facebook and went to an email address that he wasn't checking.
Whoa.
So think about this.
That's not good.
And it's like 15 to 20 leads a week for years this guy had.
That's not good.
And he didn't even, and so I'm going, you're spending, you know, 20 grand a year on ads that you're not getting things from. And are you aware that the phone number on your site rings to a phone that's no longer a real phone? And I'm serious, this was real. And then he had before and after photos where somebody had the idea of let's get before and after photos. You know, where you interview someone before they start working out.
Yeah.
But then they never completed the thought. You know what I'm saying?
I do.
Where it's like they interview them about getting in shape.
Yeah.
But then they never actually like aired the part where they're in shape.
Oh no.
So it's just sort of like an interview with people that are not in shape. And I'm like, and again, he's busy guy, busy entrepreneur. That kind of stuff is very common. It's kind of laughable if it's not your company.
Yeah.
But okay, next box. You got to determine your customer acquisition costs. How much does it cost you to get a customer? So Aaron, you guys run ads on Google, on Facebook, on retargeting ads. You have massive signage. There's a lot of stuff you do.
Yep.
Why is it important to know how much it costs you at the end of the day to get an actual new buyer of a Shaw home?
Well, because if you want more of those, you know what it costs to go generate more of those. And it's, you know, it's a cost where it's like, okay, well, you know, I'm down in sales this month or this quarter or whatever, and I need 4 more sales to make it a good quarter here before the end of the quarter. And it's like, I know I can go put money into that and it's going to cost me X number of dollars per customer to get there. And so then it's just a matter of, do I want to spend that money to get to that point? So, you know, for us, it's, you know, a pretty high number because it's a big ticket item, but for some people it might be, you know, very small to get that, you know, each customer. But for us, you know, it's, you got to know what the number is because ultimately that goes into the price of your product, and whatever you sell, we're doing homes. That is one of our line item costs in our homes.
That's what costs.
Yeah.
Now, if you go to any of the businesses that I'm involved in, you go to eitrlounge.com/staff. I put in the password here. Once I put in the password, I have all of the documents needed to run the company, and they're all saved. So the checklist for the manager, the opening checklist for the assistant manager, the bathroom cleaning checklist, everything needed to grow the company is all in one place. And therefore, the business, everybody who works there knows where to go to find those documents. This is the kind of stuff that fires me up, and it makes other people crazy.
Oh, yeah.
So with the conferences we do, if we ever do a conference that's out of town, I have a checklist of stuff I print out. I know it seems kind of crazy for people, but this is real. I print it out, and it's like, okay, socks. If I'm gone for 4 days, I want to have 12 pairs of socks. Why? Because it could be hot. I don't know. Could get wet. I don't know. I have a list of, deodorant and socks and shaving, and I have a laptop and a backup laptop, and I have patch cables and XLR cables, and we bring three. You've seen all this stuff, but it's multiple monitors, backup monitors. It's backups for everything. When you guys build a Shaw home, you're not moving off of guesswork. There's blueprints, there's plans, there's systems, so houses don't fall down. There's somebody out here listening right now that doesn't have systems in place. They don't have checklists.
Oh, yeah.
They don't have it, and so they have to think about everything all the time, because if not, they forget a step.
Yeah.
What would you say is the importance of having taken the time to have built these systems now?
It is the night and day difference between running around like your hair is on fire every day, constantly playing firefighter, or, you hear people say, oh, I'm up to my armpits in alligators. It's because you don't have systems and processes. And every time at Shaw Homes, every time that we have a problem come up, we automatically go, okay, what step in our system did this fall apart in?
Yep.
And what's broken in that step, and how can we fix it so it never happens again? So we go fix the process. We address the problem for the customer, but then we go back after that and we go, how do we fix the process so we don't repeat this problem? And the business owners that are running around with their hair on fire all the time, it's because there's no systems, no processes. Everything is urgent. Everything is hair on fire.
Correct.
And it is a chaos world that you live in. And if you're going to build homes for a living and build a lot of them, you cannot live in that chaos world.
Now, this next box, I get excited about all these boxes. This is what I get excited about. This right here is what I care about. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
The next box is management and execution. You have people on your team, and I'm just going to give some examples, and I hope this benefits somebody out there listening. You have people on your team. It's their responsibility every time that you do a new house. They go out there and they design, or they get the blueprint on the website.
Yep.
They get the new design of the home, because people want to see floor plans.
Yep.
So somebody's job is to get those up there.
Yes.
Somebody gets photos of every house that you guys are building.
Yeah.
Somebody gets videos of every house. Somebody puts them all up for sale. Somebody answers the phone every day.
Yes.
Somebody calls the leads every day.
Every day.
Somebody cleans the bathroom every day. Somebody builds the houses every day. Now, this is what I find, and I'm sure none of our listeners can relate to this. Some of our listeners fire people, and then nothing happens. So work with me on this. There's listeners out there that I talk to them every day, because we do free 13-point assessments. So I talk to 2 or 3 people a day who go to thrivetimeshow.com. They want to schedule a consultation. And the other day you heard me talking to Jordan. I said, Jordan, go ahead and keep setting those, because he set an appointment with someone who's definitely not a good fit.
Yep.
And you could tell he had a little, question if that was okay. And I said, I would rather you set an appointment with somebody than not, because I don't know if who's a good fit or not,
Yeah.
But the idea, though, is I sit down. I was talking to a guy the other day, and he was like, the reason why my team did not get Google reviews or reviews this week is because we fired a guy. And I go, because I'm just asking him, where are we stuck? What's your biggest limiting factor? I have a big process I go through in my evaluation.
Yep.
And I said, who calls the leads? He's like, well, normally I have a person that calls the leads, but we just fired her. And I mean this, I'm going, how long have you been in business? This guy's been in business for over 10 years, and he's reaching out for help. Good person. We're trying to help him. I think it's going to be a good fit. But so I said, so basically everybody follows the systems until they don't work there anymore. And then no one does the systems. And you go back and forth vacillating from things being done to not being done. And one of my favorite things about working with you guys is that you're honest people. What does that mean? You do your best to do what you say you're going to do. And you hold yourself and the employees accountable.
Absolutely.
But what would happen if every week you If somebody wasn't performing, you remove them from the position, and then the houses weren't built for the week because something wasn't going well, or because maybe a salesperson wasn't performing at the peak, you let them go, and the next thing you know, what would happen if you managed your company that way?
It would be a disaster. I mean, I can't just fire my superintendent without having somebody already ready to take over all of those responsibilities, because I've got materials showing up at the job site today, tomorrow, and the next day. I've got trades showing up who need some supervision, need to know what they're supposed to be doing. If I fire that guy with no warning, somebody else has to come fill in that position. So, for us, we try to never have that gap happen. And, sometimes it's like, that you're going to need to fire somebody and you can see the writing on the wall.
Right.
But you want to get the next person up and ready to go before that happens.
And you guys have a weekly meeting. So we talk a lot on the show from an employer perspective, but how frustrating would it be to be an A-player employee and you're working for a C-player boss? A boss that doesn't have a staff meeting, that's not organized, that doesn't pay people on time, that's constantly emotional. I see that a lot. And so management is a learned skill. Yes, and thankfully, when I first met with you, you'd already really mastered, in my opinion, managing people. But this next box is where I thought we needed some help, was to build a system for constantly recruiting new people, because certain people work for Shaw Homes for 3 years or 4 years, and then they want to go move, they want to have a baby, they want to stay home, they want to get a new job. Yep. And even though you have low turnover at Shaw, certain people get to their expiration date and it's time for them to move on to something else. Yep. And because we didn't have a process in place at Shaw at that time to consistently bring in a pipeline of new people, it made it difficult to do the management that was needed. Can you talk about the importance of implementing a human resources program for hiring, inspiring, training, and retaining good people?
It's huge. I mean, that was definitely an Achilles heel for us. And you helped us a lot with that. Putting in where every single week I'm seeing, potential candidates that could come work for us, and they're job shadowing and seeing what it's like to work in our company every single week.
Yep.
It does multiple things. It helps the people who work there to know, hey, there's other people who desire to come work here.
Here we go.
And, if I'm not doing my job, I might get replaced. So there's a little bit of that. And then it's also a thing of, the people who are shadowing get to see the job being done by people who are happy doing their job. And it helps them to want to come be a part of Shaw Homes. I've got a very long list of people right now in every single position that would be excited to come work for us if I did all of a sudden find myself with an opening, because occasionally people leave with no notice or whatever, something happens, family emergency, whatever.
Right.
And you have that, I need to replace somebody immediately. And the great thing about it is I have a whole bunch of people that I could plug into that position very quickly, because every single week I am interviewing.
Now, the next box here is you got to do your accounting, and in order to earn millions, you have to automate your accounting. What does that mean? You have to have a system in place for making sure you price your products and services correctly, and that you pay yourself first, that you set aside a set amount of money to pay yourself and your staff. And all these things work together. And what I find is people ask me, often just not knowing, they come from a place of a good heart, they don't know. They say to me, Clay, what is the most important step in growing Shaw Homes? I've heard Aaron on the show. He's a great guy. Clay, I've heard PMH OKC on the show. Clay, I've seen OxyFresh on the show. What was the most important thing they did? And to me, that's like asking a hiker, what was the most important step you took to get to the top of that mountain?
Mm-hmm.
Well, it was the one we took there an hour ago. I took a left step. No, it's that gasket of baker. What's the most important ingredient? Is it milk? Is it sugar? Is it eggs? Is it, it's like asking a farmer, what's the most important thing, feeding the animals or watering them? What's the key to your success? There's just certain questions that I understand people want to know, but all of this has to work together, and nothing works unless you do. So I have 3 final questions for you. For anybody out there that's thinking about scheduling a consultation, a free consultation with thrivetimeshow.com and myself, obviously they're stuck with me if they fill out the form. I'm the only person that does 13-point assessments.
Right.
I believe I've seen it since 2005. We help people decrease their costs, increase their time freedom and profits. What would you say is the benefit of scheduling that 13-point assessment?
Well, actually, the 13-point assessment was very eye-opening for me. You asked me a lot of tough questions that I probably should have been asking myself and wasn't. And so as we went through the questions, I was like, I think at every question you asked me, I was like, oh, that's a good question. And I was like, hang on, let me think about that for a minute. So I find that it kind of helps open your eyes to, these are some things that I know I have some areas of weakness. And then there were, I think, a couple of the questions where I was like, oh, I know the answer to this one. I got this one, no problem. But it helps you sort of identify. I walked away having identified areas of strength and areas of weakness, even though that really wasn't the purpose of the phone call necessarily. It helped me to see that. And then I was like, I think I have a need in a couple of these areas, and I didn't really know what to do for myself. I didn't have the answers.
In part 3 of today's show, part 2, we're going to show the Ronnie Morales story. On part 3, we're going to do a testimony with Myron. And Myron just bought his first Lamborghini today, and he's super fired up. And so Myron's about 6 years down the path. We've been working with you for about 8 years, whereas Ronnie's been with us for less than a year. And it's at a certain point that we have to take action. Knowledge without application is meaningless. What would you say to somebody who's like, it's $1,700 a month, and I'm spending that much right now on random ads and that much money on random regrettable purchases at the gas station, and a lot of iTunes I'm downloading. I'm spending $1,700 a month on various things, and I don't know if I can afford it because I've just bought another vehicle that I can't afford, but I'm leasing it. What would you say to anybody who's kind of on that fence?
I would say you need to do it. It has been a game changer for us. I don't know why you would sit there and think $1,700 a month is too much money to spend. Go find the money somewhere. Go empty out your sofa cushions. Go sell the stuff that you have in your house that you're not using. Go get, whatever you need to do to get to that place. You need to find that $1,700. And I will say this, that cost was very quickly replaced with the extra money we were making. And I've actually seen, because I've been around you for a long time, I've seen a lot of your clients come in and right off the bat, they're real nervous about, am I going to be able to, because maybe they're a smaller company or whatever. Right. And they're like, I'm wondering if I'm going to be able to handle this $1,700 a month. And then I see them 6 months later and I'm like, how's it going now? And they're like, man, we're just hitting record after record. I have referred several business owners
and they're doing great,
that are killing it. And that, I'll give one example. I won't name the person, but I did send one of my very good friends to you who was on the verge of losing his business because he just wasn't able. He had bought another one of the shops of what he does. Yep. He opened it and it was not profitable and it was going to take under both of his shops. And I sent him over to you. And I remember about 3 months later, I asked him, how's it going? And he goes, man, we just had a record-breaking month. This was amazing. And
by the way, said person just hit another record-breaking month, just so you know.
Yeah, and I know right now, not only does he have way more income, but he has a lot more time freedom because he's been working with you for many years now. And so it changed his life just like it changed my life. I would say if you're thinking about, doing a 13-point assessment, stop thinking, dial the phone, pause this video, make the phone call, reach out to Clay, get it started right now.
Now, final question I have is, I think people look at oxyfresh.com and they go, man, there's 500 locations now.
Yeah.
They look at Elephant in the Room and they go, there's 5 brick and mortar locations now. They look at Shaw Homes and they go, these are big success stories. Yeah. I don't know that I can do it. What would you say to somebody out there that just feel like they might not have all this stuff they're going to learn is going to be over their head, too complicated? What would you say?
I would say the information, the ideas are easy. It's the application that is difficult for people. The ideas that you share, there's nothing that's like, oh my God, I don't have a PhD, therefore I can't do it. I feel like it's all very, very simple stuff, but it is a lot of action to get traction. And you got to get the action going. And I think if somebody has diligence and discipline or can learn diligence or discipline, they're going to do extremely well. And it's not about education. It's about action.
Now, Aaron, I got one thing I want to say, and then we'll kind of wrap up today's show, okay, with a boom, because boom stands for big, overwhelming, optimistic momentum. And that's what's required to have success. People watching this, they're going, wow, Aaron, he looks like a normal guy. Well, that's true. They say, well, he sounds like a normal guy. Sounds like an all right guy. That's true. But the one thing you can't quite picture on the show, and I want to just give that gift to you folks who are watching, is Aaron smells tremendous. It's like if you had smell-o-vision, if you could just get up there and just smell that thing, it's incredible. And it's really, it's his aroma that allows him to achieve massive success. So
That's what it is.
if
That's
you're
the
out there
secret.
and you're going, what's the secret sauce? It's not a sauce. It's more of just a smell. So I don't know if you qualify to have the kind of success he has unless you smell like he smells. It's a really tremendous smell. Okay, let's end this thing with a boom. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, boom. Well, Thrive Nation, we have an opportunity all the time. We have
Hey guys, Luke Erickson here with the Thrive Time Show. As you can see behind me, we've got all kinds of energy going on. People are starting to show up for the conference, and it is hot in this place. We got grill guns over here. We've got people playing the drums. We've got fire breathers, and man, people are so excited as they come in. Gentlemen, let me introduce you to the grill gun.
Hi, I'm Bob Healy. I'm the inventor of the grill gun and the sous vide gun.
Tim Tebow is coming to Tulsa, Oklahoma, June 27th and 28th. We've been doing business conferences here since 2005. I've been hosting business conferences since 2005. And a lot of people, have followed Tim Tebow's football career on the field and off the field. And off the field, the guy's been just as successful as he has been on the field. Now, the big question is, JT, how does he do it?
Well, they're going to have to come and find out because I don't know.
Well, I'm just saying, Tim Tebow's going to teach us how he organizes his day, how he organizes his life, how he's proactive with his faith, his family, his finances. He's going to walk us through his mindset that he brings into the gym, into business. It is going to be a blasty blast in Tulsa, Jerusalem. Also, this is the first Thrive Time Show event that we've had where we're going to have a man who has built a $100 million net worth.
Wow.
Who'll be presenting. Now, we've had a couple presenters that have had $1 billion net worth in some like real estate sort of things.
Yeah.
But this is the first time we've had a guy who's built a service business, and he's built over $100 million net worth in the service business. It's the yacht driving, multi-state living guru of franchising. Peter Taunton will be in the house. This is the founder of Snap Fitness, the guy behind 9 Round Boxing. He's going to be here in Tulsa, Jerusalem, Oklahoma, June 27th and 28th. JT, why should everybody want to hear what Peter Taunton has to say?
Oh, because he's incredible. He's just a fountain of knowledge. He is awesome. He has inspired me listening to him talk. And not only that, he also has, he practices what he teaches. So he's a real teacher. He's not a fake teacher like business school teachers. So you got to come learn from him.
And now the best-selling author of The Carnivore Diet and the multiple-time Joe Rogan guest, Dr. Sean Baker, joins our 2-day interactive business growth and life optimization workshop. Also, let me tell you this, folks. I don't want to get this wrong because if I get it wrong, someone's going to say, you screwed that up, buddy. So Michael Levine, this is Michael Levine. He's going to be coming. You say, who's Michael Levine? I don't want to get this wrong. This is the PR consultant of choice for Michael Jackson, for Prince, for Nike, for Charlton Heston, for Nancy Kerrigan, 34 Grammy Award winners, 43 New York Times best-selling authors he's represented, including pretty much everybody you know who's been a super celebrity. This is Michael Levine, a good friend of mine. He's going to come and talk to you about personal branding and the mindset needed to be super successful. The lineup will continue to grow. We have hit Christian recording artist Colton Dixon in the house. Now, people say, Colton Dixon's in the house? Yes, Colton Dixon's in the house. So if you like top 40 Christian music, Colton Dixon's going to be in the house performing. The lineup will continue to grow each and every day. We're going to add more and more speakers to this all-star lineup. But I encourage everybody out there today, get those tickets today. Go to thrivetimeshow.com. Again, that's thrivetimeshow.com. And some people might be saying, well, how do I do it? What do I do? How does it work? You just go to thrivetimeshow.com. Let's go there now. We're feeling the flow. We're going to thrivetimeshow.com. Again, you just go to thrivetimeshow.com. You click on the business conferences button, and you click on the request tickets button right there. The way I do our conferences is we tell people it's $250 to get a ticket.
Yep.
Or whatever price that you can afford. And the reason why I do that is I grew up without money. JT, you're in the process of building a super successful company. Did you start out with $1 million in the bank account?
No, I did not. Nope, did not get any loans, nothing like that. Did not get an inheritance from parents or anything like that. I had to work for it, and I'm super grateful. I came to a business conference. That's actually how I met you, met Peter Taunton. I met all these people.
So if you're out there today and you want to come to our workshop, again, you just got to go to thrivetimeshow.com. You might say, well, when's it going to be? June 27th and 28th. You might say, well, who's speaking? We already covered that. You might say, where's it going to be? It's going to be in Tulsa, Jerusalem, Oklahoma. And so it says Tulsa, Jerusalem. It's I'm really trying to rebrand Tulsa as Tulsa-Jerusalem, sort of like the Jerusalem of America. But if you type in Thrive Time Show and Jinx, you can get a sneak peek or a look at our office facility. This is what it looks like. This is where you're headed. It's going to be a blasty blast. You can look inside, see the facility. We're going to have hundreds of entrepreneurs here. It is going to be packed. Now, for this particular event, folks, the seating is always limited because my facility isn't a limitless convention center. You're coming to my actual home office, and so it's going to be packed. So when? June 27th and 28th. Who? You're going to come. Who? You? I'm talking to you. You can just get your tickets right now at thrivetimeshow.com. And again, you can name your price. We tell people it's $250 or whatever price you can afford. And we do have some select VIP tickets, which gives you an access to meet some of the speakers and those sorts of things. And those tickets are $500. It's a 2-day interactive business workshop, over 20 hours of business training. We're going to give you a copy of my newest book, The Millionaire's Guide to Becoming Sustainably Rich. You're going to leave with a workbook. You're going to leave with everything you need to know to start and grow a super successful company. It's practical, it's actionable, and it's Tebow time right here in Tulsa, Jerusalem. Get those tickets today at thrivetimeshow.com. Again, that's thrivetimeshow.com.
Hello, I'm Michael Levine, and I'm talking to you right now from the center of Hollywood, California, where I have represented over the last 35 years 58 Academy Award winners, 34 Grammy Award winners, 43 New York Times bestsellers. I've represented a lot of major stars, and I've worked with a lot of major companies. And I think I've learned a few things about what makes them work and what makes them not work. Now, why would a man living in Hollywood, California, in the beautiful sunny weather of LA, come to Tulsa? Because last year I did it, and it was damn exciting. Clay Clark has put together an exceptional presentation, really life-changing, and I'm looking forward to seeing you then. I'm Michael Levine. I'll see you in Tulsa.
James, did I tell you my good friend John Lee Dumas is also joining us at the in-person 2-day interactive Thrive Time Show Business Workshop? That Tim Tebow and that Michael Levine will be at. Have I told you this?
You have not told me that.
Oh, he's coming all the way from Puerto Rico. This is John Lee Dumas, the host of the chart-topping EOFire.com podcast. He's absolutely a living legend. This guy started a podcast after wrapping up his service in the United States military, and he started recording this podcast daily in his home, to the point where he started interviewing big-time folks like Gary Vaynerchuk, like Tony Robbins, and he just kept interviewing bigger and bigger names, putting out shows day after day. And now he is the legendary host of the EO Fire podcast, and he's traveling all the way from Puerto Rico to Tulsa, Oklahoma to attend the in-person June 27th and 28th Thrive Time Show 2-day interactive business workshop. If you're out there today, folks, you've ever wanted to grow a podcast, a broadcast, you want to improve your marketing, if you've ever wanted to improve your marketing, your branding, if you've ever wanted to increase your sales, you want to come to the 2-day interactive June 27th and 28th Thrive Time Show Business Workshop featuring Tim Tebow, Michael Levine, John Lee Dumas, and countless big-time super successful entrepreneurs. It's going to be life-changing. Get your tickets right now at thrivetimeshow.com. James, what website is that?
thrivetimeshow.com.
James, one more time with more enthusiasm.
thrivetimeshow.com.
Everything rides on tonight. Even if I got 3 strikes, I'ma go for it. This moment, we own it. I'm not to be played with because it could get dangerous. See these people I ride with. This moment, we own it.
Thrive Time Show 2-day interactive business workshops are the world's highest rated and most reviewed business workshops because we teach you what you need to know to grow.
You can learn the proven 13-point business systems that Dr. Zellner and I have used over and over to start and grow successful companies. I mean, we get into the specific steps on what you need to do to optimize your website. We're going to teach you how to fix your conversion rate. We're going to teach you how to do a social media marketing campaign that works. How do you raise capital? How do you get a small business loan? We teach you everything you need to know here during a 2-day, 15-hour workshop. It's all here for you. You work every day in your business, but for 2 days you can escape and work on your business and build these proven systems so now you can have a successful company that will produce both the time freedom and the financial freedom that you deserve. You're going to leave energized, motivated, but you're also going to leave empowered. The reason why I've built these workshops is because as an entrepreneur, I always wish that I had this. And because there wasn't anything like this, I would go to these motivational seminars, no money down, real estate, Ponzi scheme, get motivated seminars, and they would never teach me anything. It was like you went there and you paid for the big chocolate Easter bunny, but inside of it, it was a hollow nothingness. And I wanted the knowledge, and they're like, oh, but we'll teach you the knowledge after our next workshop. And the great thing is we have nothing to upsell. At every workshop, we teach you what you need to know. There's no one in the back of the room trying to sell you some next big get-rich-quick, walk-on-hot coals product. It's literally, we teach you the brass tacks, the specific stuff that you need to know to learn how to start and grow a business. And I encourage you to not believe what I'm saying, and I want you to Google the Z66 auto auction. I want you to Google elephant in the room. Look at Robert Zellner and Associates. Look them up and say, are they successful because they're geniuses, or are they successful because they have a proven system? When you do that research, you will discover that the same systems that we use in our own business can be used in your business. Come to Tulsa, book a ticket, and I guarantee you it's going to be the best business workshop ever, and we'll even give you your money back if you don't love it. We've built this facility for you, and we're excited to see you.
And now you may be thinking, what does it actually cost to attend an in-person 2-day interactive Thrive Time Show business workshop? Well, good news. The tickets are $250 or whatever price that you can afford. What? Yes, they're $250 or whatever price you can afford. I grew up without money, and I know what it's like to live without money. So if you're out there today and you want to attend our in-person 2-day interactive business workshop, all you got to do is go to thrivetimeshow.com to request those tickets. And if you can't afford $250, we have scholarship pricing available to make it affordable for you.
I learned at the Academy, Kings Point in New York. Acta non verba. Watch what a person does, not what they say. Whoa.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Robert Kiyosaki, the Rich Dad Radio Show. Today I'm broadcasting from Phoenix, Arizona, not Scottsdale, Arizona. They're close, but they're completely different worlds. And we have a special guest today. Definition of intelligence is if you agree with me, you're intelligent. And so this gentleman is very intelligent. I've done his show before also, but very seldom do you find somebody who lines up on all counts. And it's a Mr. Clay Clark. He's a friend of a good friend, Eric Trump. But we're also talking about money, bricks, and how screwed up the world can get in a few and a half hour. So Clay Clark is a very intelligent man, and there's so many ways we could take this thing. But I thought, since you and Eric are close, Trump, what were you saying about what Trump can't, what Donald, who's my age, and I can say or cannot say?
First of all, I have to honor you, sir. I want to show you what I did to one of your books here. There's a guy by the name of Jeremy Thorne, who was my boss at the time. I was 19 years old, working at Faith Highway. I had a job at Applebee's, Target, and DirecTV. And he said, have you read this book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad? And I said, no. And my father, may he rest in peace, he didn't know these financial principles. So I started reading all of your books and really devouring your books. And I went from being an employee to self-employed to the business owner to the investor. And I owe a lot of that to you. And I just wanted to take a moment to tell you thank you so much for allowing me to achieve success. And then I'll tell you all about Eric Trump. But I just want to tell you thank you, sir, for changing my life.
But not only that, Clay, thank you, but you become an influencer. More than anything else, you've evolved into an influencer where your word has more and more power. So that's why I congratulate you on becoming. Because as you know, there's a lot of fake influencers out there too, or bad influencers.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'm glad you and I agree so much, and thanks for reading my books.
Yeah.
That's the greatest thrill for me today. Not a thrill, but recognition is when people, young men especially, come up and say, I read your book, changed my life. I'm doing this, I'm doing this, I'm doing this.
I learned at the Academy, Kings Point in New York. Acta non verba. Watch what a person does, not what they say. Whoa!
Hey, I'm Ryan Wimpy. I'm originally from Tulsa, born and raised here. I went to a small private liberal arts college and got a degree in business. And I didn't learn anything like they're teaching here. I didn't learn linear workflows. I learned stuff that I am not using and I haven't been using for the last 9 years. So what they're teaching here is actually way better than what I got at business school. And I went what was actually ranked as a very good business school. The linear workflow for us in getting everything out on paper and documented is really important. Like we have workflows that are kind of all over the place, so having linear workflow and seeing that mapped out on multiple different boards is pretty awesome. That's really helpful for me. The atmosphere here is awesome. I definitely just stared at the walls figuring out how to make my facility look like this place. This place rocks. It's invigorating. The walls are super, it's just very cool. The atmosphere is cool. The people are nice. It's a pretty cool place to be. Very good learning atmosphere. I literally want to model it and steal everything that's here at this facility and basically create it just on our business side.
Once I saw what they were doing, I knew I had to get here at the conference. This is probably the best conference or seminar I've ever been to in over 30 years of business.
You're not bored. You're awake, alive the whole time. It's not pushy. They don't try to sell you a bunch of things.
I was looking to learn how to just get control of my life, my schedule, and just get control of the business.
Planning your time, breaking it all down, making time for the F6 in your life, and just really implementing it and sticking with the program.
It's really lively. They're pretty friendly, helpful, very welcoming.
I attended a conference a couple months back, and it was really the best business conference I've ever attended.
At the workshop, I learned a lot about time management, really prioritizing what's the most important.
Biggest takeaways are, you want to take a step-by-step approach to your business. Whether it's marketing, what are those 3 marketing tools that you want to use, to human resources.
Some of the most successful people and successful businesses in this town, their owners were here today because they wanted to know more from Clay, and I found that to be kind of fascinating.
The most valuable thing that I've learned is diligence, that businesses don't change overnight. It takes time and effort, and you got to go through the ups and downs of getting it to where you want to go.
He actually gives you the roadmap out. I was stuck, didn't know what to do, and he gave me the roadmap out step by step.
We've set up systems in the business that make my life much easier, allow me some time freedom.
Here you can ask any question you want. They guarantee it'll be answered.
This conference motivates me and also give me a lot of knowledge and tools.
It's up to you to do it. Everybody can do these things. There's stuff that everybody knows, but if you don't do it, nobody else can do it for you.
I can see the marketing working, and it's just an approach that makes sense.
Probably the most notable thing is just the income increase that we've had.
Everyone's super fun, it's super motivating. I've been here before, but I'm back again because it motivates me.
Your competition's going to come eventually, or try to pick up these tactics. So if you don't, somebody else will.
I'm Rachel with Tip Top Canine, and we just want to give a huge thank you to Clay and Vanessa Clark.
Hey guys, I'm Ryan with Tip Top Canine. Just want to say a big thank you to Thrive 15. Thank you to Make Your Life Epic. We love you guys, we appreciate you, and really just appreciate how far you've taken us.
This is our old house, right? This is where we used to live a few years ago. This is our old neighborhood. See? It's nice, right?
So this is my old van and our old school marketing, and this is our old team. And by team, I mean it's me and another guy.
This is our new house with our new neighborhood. This is our new van with our new marketing, and this is our new team. We went from 4 to 14, and I took this beautiful photo. We worked with several different business coaches in the past, and they were all about helping Ryan sell better and just teaching sales, which is awesome, but Ryan is a really great salesman. So we didn't need that. We needed somebody to help us get everything that was in his head out into systems, into manuals and scripts, and actually build a team. So now that we have systems in place, we've gone from 1 to 10 locations in only a year.
In October 2016, we grossed 13 grand for the whole month. Right now it's 2018, the month of October. It's only the 22nd. We've already grossed a little over 50 grand for the whole month, and we still have time to go. We're just thankful for you, thankful for Thrive and your mentorship, and we're really thankful that You guys have helped us to grow a business that we run now instead of the business running us. Just thank you times 1,000.
So we really just want to thank you, Clay, and thank you, Vanessa, for everything you've done, everything you've helped us with. We love you guys.
If you decide to not attend the Thrive Time workshop, you're missing out on a great opportunity.
The atmosphere of Clay's office is very lively. You can feel the energy as soon as you walk through the door, and it really got me and my team very excited.
If you decide not to come, you're missing out on an opportunity to grow your business. Bottom line.
Love the environment. I love the way that Clay presents and teaches. It's a way that not only allows me to comprehend what's going on, but he explains it in a way to where it just makes sense.
The SEO optimization, branding, marketing. I've learned more in the last 2 days than I have the entire 4 years of college.
The most valuable thing that I've learned, marketing is key. Marketing is everything.
Making sure that you're branded accurately and clearly. How to grow a business using Google reviews, and then just how to optimize our name through our website also.
Helpful with a lot of marketing, search engine optimization, helping us really rank high in Google.
The biggest thing I needed to learn was how to build my foundation, how to systemize everything and optimize everything, build my SEO.
How to become more organized, more efficient. How to make sure the business is really there to serve me as opposed to me constantly being there for the business.
New ways of advertising my business as well as recruiting new employees.
Group interviews, number one. Before we felt like we were held hostage by our employees. Group interviews has completely eliminated that because you're able to really find the people that would really be the best fit.
Hands-on how to hire people, how to deal with human resources, a lot about marketing, and overall just how to structure the business, how it works for me, and also then how that can translate into working better for my clients.
The most valuable thing I've learned here is time management.
I like the 1 hour of doing your business is real critical if I'm going to grow and change.
Clay really teaches you how to navigate through those things and not only find freedom, but find your purpose in your business and find the purposes for all those other people that directly affect your business as well.
Everybody.
Everyone needs to attend the conference because you get an opportunity to see that it's real.
Hey, Flyover family, come join us June the 27th and 28th, 2024 in Tulsa, Oklahoma. We're going to be there with Clay Clark and an amazing group of individuals that have made such a difference in so many people's lives.
Do you want to increase your production in a job? Do you want to make more sales? Do you want to own your own business? Do you want to have breakthroughs financially? The key to that is knowledge.
Clay Clark is anointed to help people in business. We've watched him over the last couple of years and we've been blown away. He's part owner of over 160 businesses, $2.4 billion in sales.
So before politics and the Great Reset came into Clay's life, he had the #1 rated Apple podcast. And he interviewed people like Anthony Robbins, Seth Godin, the top authors, the top business minds in the world. At this specific event, there was an interesting cast of characters that come from gangs to American Idol.
Some of the guests that are going to be there: Michael Levine, Colton Dixon, Peter Taunton, John Lee Dumas, Mondo de la Viga,
and Tim Tebow. They're there to share what they've done and their breakthroughs and what their story is. And then Clay lays his map of business success, calls the path for every person to follow.
So you may be sitting there thinking, okay, I get it. What do I have to do? Go to thrivetimeshow.com. When you get there, the tickets are $250 or whatever you can afford. Yes, you got that right. $250 or whatever you can afford. You can name your price. So there are no excuses. You have to join us there. There are only a few VIP tickets left, like David said, special dinner and special time with the speakers. That is $500 while they last. So $500, only a few left if you want a VIP ticket. We want to meet these speakers as well, so we got VIP tickets.
I want to meet Tim Tebow.
I do too. The date is June the 27th and 28th, 2024 in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Go to thrivetimeshow.com to get your tickets.
Hey guys, Luke Erickson here with the Thrive Time Show. As you can see behind me, we've got all kinds of energy going on. People are starting to show up for the conference, and it is hot in this place. We got grill guns over here. We've got people playing the drums. We've got a fire breather, and man, people are so excited as they come in. The conference is kicked off. This house is packed. We've got Aaron Hansis with Shaw Holmes up there. We've got Steve Currington with Total Lending Concepts up there talking about what is possible when you just implement, when you do the proven system. It's so exciting. People are going crazy. Now, Michael Levine, writer of many, many PR books, the man who represented people like Michael Jackson, Barbara Streisand, and George Bush. He's speaking to the people here at our conference, talking about branding. One of the greatest branding experts alive today is here at our conference, talking to entrepreneurs. We just wrapped up day one. It was incredible. We had some remarkable speakers. Michael Levine. We just finished with a lady named Jill Donovan, who owns a company called Rustic Cuff, talking about the power of the Dream 100. I cannot wait to see what tomorrow holds. Hey guys, Luke Erickson with the Thrive Time Show here with you. It is day 2 and the energy is high. People are so excited to be showing up. The team is ready. Come on, let's see what it's like to go on in for day 2. Follow me. Tell you what, people are so excited to be here for day 2. It is going to be incredible. Cannot wait to see what today has in store. Right now, here at the conference, we've broken into groups going over search engine optimization. And I know for most of us, myself included, if you hear that term, you go, what is that? What does that mean? That's too techie for me. Well, our experts are breaking it down for people so that you can clearly understand how to come up top in Google. It's doable. It's possible. Now we're in the middle of a break, and what we like to do is we like to give you as much tangible and relevant information from about the start of the hour for 45 minutes. Then we take approximately a 15-minute break to allow people to connect with other entrepreneurs around them, bathroom breaks, and also use this time to just really digest all of the good information that you're receiving the whole time. Right behind me, we've got Bob with his grill gun, melting an ice sculpture. It is awesome. The ice sculpture represents our life, right? It's here for a time, but we all need to have the sense of urgency to implement the things that we're learning so that we can make the most of the time that we have. We are outside. You can see a line behind me. What's going on is that we partner with different companies to help them implement the proven systems over and over and over again. And one of those companies is Master Machine. And so what we like to do is partner with these companies to also help them give samples to other people as they come to the conference and truly get their name out. I just wanted to recap some of the amazing things that have happened today. We've had entrepreneurs like Paul Hood with Hood CPAs. We've had Jill Donovan and Michael Levine come up and just impart so much wisdom and knowledge. We've got an incredible giveaway for one of our TVs. Hey there, Thrive Nation. One of the things that we love most about our business conferences is that we want every entrepreneur to leave with their questions answered. So what we do is we let them put the questions up on the board here so that they can ask their specific questions, and Clay will not end the conference until every question is answered. Behind us, Clay Clardy is answering all the different questions that entrepreneurs entrepreneurs have brought to the conference. Whenever someone comes here and starts to hear this information, especially for the first time, it just brings about so much anticipation of wanting to actually implement the proven systems and processes. And so Clay always wants to make sure that he answers all of their questions so that they are the most set up for success to be able to go home and start implementing. If you have any questions, email us at info@thrivetimeshow.com.
Hello, I'm Wes Carter. I'm one of the shareholders at Winters & King. My favorite thing that Thrive has helped me accomplish here in our firm is thinking a little bit outside the box. They do SEO, they do printing, they help us with a lot of things from the day-to-day marketing for the firm, but they also help us think of things that as attorneys we probably wouldn't normally think of that help us market our services to our clients. One of the things I love about working with Thrive is that they make it enjoyable to actually do work with them. It's not dry, it's usually fun, but it's always very enjoyable and practical. They give me things and ideas that I can put into place. It's not just some theoretical spiel that they give me. We get practical steps that we work on together to do my job better. So me personally, I would easily recommend Thrive 15 services to my friends, my families. I recommend them to my clients. I think they do a good job. They're passionate. They care about their clients. And I think it's actually a valuable service they provide to people that are in the business world.
My name is Jeff Thomas. I'm originally from Atlanta, Georgia. It's all about getting to the grindstone. It is about putting it's one thing to have a specific vision or a dream, but knowledge without application isn't knowledge at all. That's nothing. Really funny. The atmosphere is very lively. Everybody that is working for Clay is very upbeat and not tired, not sluggish, not complaining, not whining. They don't have anything to do with those types of characteristics. It's all about getting to the grind and having fun while you do it. I haven't actually been to any conferences in the past, but what I will say from what I've seen on YouTube and what from other friends have told me is this isn't like a motivational kind of thing to just, hoo-hoo, rah-rah, get you motivated, but it's like practical steps that if you do take them, which most people aren't willing to do, then you will grow and you'll achieve the specific things that you want. Well, for one thing, I would say that this isn't necessarily for everyone. So if you're not willing to work, this isn't for you. But I will say that if you are willing to work and you're just getting started, but you have actually taken a step in that direction, then this will actually help you grow further exponentially than you could ever imagine.
My name is Taylor Hall. I'm the general manager of the Tulsa Oilers professional hockey team. Our goal every night here at the BOK Center is to try to fill the seats with lots of people and create an exciting environment so when somebody comes to a game, they want to come back. Working with Clay and the staff at Thrive, they've really helped us in many ways. Website and graphic design and video production and a lot of things that go along. And a lot of businesses, including ours, doesn't have a staff or a full-time videographer or graphic designer. But the biggest thing that we noticed was the needle mover. More sales, more attendance, more successes in business. We had a record year last season working with Clay for the first time. Our average attendance is higher than it's ever been. So there was a lot of really cool things that we did, and they worked. That's the nice thing about working with Clay and the team over there. It's just not one person, you get the entire team. If you need video design and editing and production, they've got that. If you need graphic design, if you need some coaching, your salespeople and call scripts, PR, they offer all that. Clay was instrumental in helping guiding us and getting us on the right track so that we could really raise the bar and become ultra successful. So it's been an amazing experience for us.
My name is Caitlin. I own a tumbling gym called Justice Tumbling Company in Tulsa. Working with Clay is so helpful, just being diligent with everything and making sure we execute our goals and just really make things happen. It's fun, it's high, it really gets you energized and going, it just makes you really want to work. To get the momentum going, to really just
I'm actually a client of Thrive 15, and I learn so much from what I'm learning at this conference and from my regular weekly attendance that it's helping me establish the business and get it off the ground. Clay's presentation style is just blatant disregard for what anybody wants. He just has fun. It's him. Everything that you see is authentically Clay. It's a great deal of fun. Everybody enjoys it. They know when they walk in, they think they're coming into a carnival, and frankly they are. It's just great fun. There's not another conference like it. You just don't go to a carnival atmosphere and learn like you do here at a Thrive conference. It's great. The reason people should attend at least one of these conferences is because it's common sense. And everybody's fed an entire line about the way you should run a business, but until you actually experience running a business, which is candidly what you learn here, how to run a business, you don't know what you're doing.
My name is Tyler Hastings, and this is my wife, Rachel, and our company is Delricht Research out of New Orleans. During our time working with Thrive, we've had numerous successes. When we first started, we were working with one physician. We had one research site, and we were seeing on average, between 10 and 15 patients a week. Since working with Thrive in the last 18 months, we now have 4 research sites. We work with over 5 physicians, and on average, we're now seeing over 60 patients per week. Recently, we've been the top enroller worldwide in 7 studies, which is just incredible considering where we were 2 years ago, 18 months ago.
Thrive really differs from the other conferences that we've been to and the other kind of programs that we've been through because they actually really practice what they preach, and they implement the same systems and the processes that they teach you about, and they give you real life examples that have really worked for them and show you with the training how to implement that yourself. For example, Tyler and I actually got the opportunity to come out to Tulsa, and we're fortunate enough that the Thrive team took us out to some of the businesses that they own, and we really got to see in real life, real time, some of the systems and processes, and it was just incredible. A real life example of some of the businesses and the things that they're implementing.
Having a coach is important to us. They act as not only an accountability factor, but they're someone we can talk to on a daily basis as we go through the problems of running a business that inevitably come up. They always understand what we're going through, and they're always there to help us or guide us through the problems that we experience. The best part of our experience working with Thrive has just been seeing our relationship grow. So at each step as our business grows, they have something else to provide us with. They've got the resources, whether it be marketing, graphic design, website development, or even into accounting practices. Maybe we need a new insurance policy. They have someone they can connect us with, or they have the direct resource we need to speak with for any of the problems we face. If someone's thinking about signing up for the coaching program, I would highly recommend that they call in for a free 30-minute coaching session and see exactly what the team can do for you. Just speak with someone, let them know what you're going through, and I think you'll find that, regardless of what you need, there's someone there that can help you.
Clay's presentation style is very real and raw. Like, it just gets real down to the bone of it and the real purpose of it. There's no, fluffy vagueness about it, So, he really gets to the point. I'm always reminded about how important it is to be intentional and to really pay attention to how you schedule your time and really honor it. Because whatever gets scheduled gets done. That's what he said from Lee Cockrell. So, just constantly hearing that and getting reminded helps me to reinforce that into my own life. It always helps to get an outside perspective, and especially from a guy that's grown so many multi-million-dollar businesses. It doesn't hurt. So.
My name is Nick Guajardo. I heard about the Thrive Time Show workshop through Andy Matherin. He is my Andy Matherin and Larry Montgomery. They're my bosses at Restore Home Health. So I work with a home health company called Restore Home Health, and my role is pretty much to bring in business. So I was hoping to learn kind of the sales process on top of just kind of the responsibilities, and help understand what it looks like on the SEO side, and just kind of an all around what it looks like to own a business, because that's something I want to do in the future for sure. How I would describe the atmosphere here at Thrive is high energy, great professionalism, great people. It's a place you definitely want to visit and be at. Clay's delivery style, humorous, professional, hilarious. He does it. I haven't seen someone do it better. So he does a great job. Most valuable thing I've learned so far, a lot of it has been extremely valuable. But one thing that's really stuck out to me is learning the SEO stuff. I mean, that is, I think, things you don't really even think about, and then you hear it, and you think you know it, but you don't know it. So I feel like that was the most valuable. Well, they're missing out on just what comes down to just basic applications to be a business owner. I mean, I feel like it's like an absolute necessity, to come here and learn the ins and outs, and maybe come here once and twice if they take good notes, that kind of thing. Why? It's the experience here and what you can learn. Like, absolutely.
So marketing and SEO seemed like something that would be very scary, but then in the way that Clay and his team described it became very clear and concise, and something that's very accessible to any business owner. I've learned a lot about marketing at this conference, and a lot about business management and HR, really everything, the key components of anybody's business. They're going to give you the best tools to be successful in it. So most workshops or conferences can be really boring, really one note, or they just seem so theatrical that it's a joke and it's not even giving you the tools that you need or that you came there for. But here it's still high energy, it's still fun, everything's to the point, but it's very professional, and you're missing out on easy steps to use in your business that are very accessible and very clear.
My name is Abigail McCarter. The best thing I've learned so far is definitely like organization, schedule-wise, always keeping a to-do list, keeping your calendar organized. I'm kind of all over the place, so that's always good to know. So Clay's presentation style and the atmosphere is electric. It's so energetic, it's so fun. Clay's hilarious, but also knows a ton, so it's just really great all around. This conference is much different than any other conference I've gone to, again, because it's fun. Like a lot of other conferences, it's like really quiet, really cold, and you're just kind of get bored. But this one, you're like always engaged, you're always learning something, and the staff is amazing. They're always super helpful, so it's just been really great.
My name's Clint Howard. We're a personal training and fitness training facility. Oh wow, I'm learning a ton. Like this morning so far has been search engine optimization. So really just the importance of being at the top of Google, how Google works, and why it's so important to go out and get video reviews and testimonials and getting Google reviews. And so all those things we can take back and really apply that like immediately. So it's really cool to see not only how to do it, but really the relevance and importance of it for your long-term strategy of your business. No, it's amazing. Actually, on the way in this morning and yesterday, I was videoing as I was walking in the front entrance. And actually I go to a lot of seminars. I go to a lot of conferences, masterminds. I've been doing that since I was like 22 years old, so gosh, almost 20 years now. And this is by far the most entertaining. Not only the content's amazing, but Clay and you guys do a great job of mixing in edutainment, entertainment where it's fun, it's fresh, it's lively. You never get bored. And I heard a study one time that the reason that children learn so much quicker is because it's fun, learning is fun. And so obviously Clay has nailed that, where it's very fun to be here and keeps you awake, keeps you energized. So I'm having a blast. Yeah, I think any business owner or someone that wants to own a business or considering starting a business should definitely come. I know that I was referred here by friends of mine and clients of mine, and I've referred other people. Again, just to understand what it takes to make a business successful, to have a good time, obviously, like I was just saying, have fun, and network. There's a lot of other people here you can learn from, and there's a lot of breaks you can talk to other people. So I think this is a must-attend for anybody that owns a business or that wants to start a business.
My name's Jamie Fagel. I'm with Jameson Fine Cabinetry. I heard about the conference through Andrew. He's the coach that I deal with here at the Thrive. The most valuable piece I found, even working with Andrew, but it's been solidified when it came here, was you got to actually do the things that they're telling you. With no action, you're not going to get anything from it. I would highly recommend this to almost anybody in business today. I have recommended it to some of my other business partners. It's phenomenal. It's really something that if you want to start a business, the old way of doing things is gone. This is what you got to do. It's the only way it'll work.
Hey, this is Charles and Amber Koloff. We're the owners of Koloff Fitness.
The way we're able to do that is working with Clay for the last 3 years. He has really readjusted our thinking and taught us that our business is here to serve us. And by doing that, we're able to live the lifestyle we want and take off on a random vacation last minute. So we had totally planned on being at the conference. So wish we could be there and meet all of you. We know you're having a great time. So
yes, Clay in the last 3 years has helped us build all the necessary systems, checklists, workflows, task lists, time blocks, audits that are always running, and the right capable lieutenants to keep track of all that so that you too can get time freedom and financial freedom. And that's what we have done, and Clay has helped us do. We've got multiple companies in multiple states, and they're all doing very well, getting ready to go 2 more locations in this next year. And Koloff Fitness has a really big future. We're teaming up with a couple other groups, and we should scale the company here shortly. Hopefully we'll open like 50 locations in the next 10 years. So, but yeah, we're on the way. We're gonna probably more than double our company, maybe triple our company in the next 8 to 9 months. And it's just awesome. God is working in our business, and we're making Jesus and changing lives. We're a strong Christian company that focuses on making Jesus famous and changing lives in the fitness field. And this is Charles and Amber Koloff. Thank you, Thrive. Hit your action items. We love you guys. Yeah. We wish we were there. You guys have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.
My name is Jennifer Johnson. I'm in the pest control industry and also weed control and fertilization, and my business is Platinum Pest and Lawn. Some of the things that I'll be able to apply a lot of the things that I've learned in our business because this is not my first conference, and so a lot of the things that we learned we've put into place, and now we're doing the next level of refining the processes or just the different concepts, and so it's getting better and better. Things that were just big processes before, we have the foundation laid, and now we're able to make it better and better, and I'm hearing different things now that we've implemented things, and so we can just make it even better implementing it into our own business. Clay's presentation and the atmosphere is very exciting and fun. It keeps you awake. It makes it interesting. You have a lot of information, but if it's not going to be entertaining, your brain is going to tune it out. But Clay makes it just entertaining enough that you retain what you learn. Lots of rhyming and catchy things so that you remember stuff. Something that makes this conference different than other workshops or conferences that I've been to is that there's a lot of people here in my same situation. Most of us are pretty small businesses wanting to improve, and we want real life information and something that will work and that's attainable and not just some crazy magic formula, but actual action items that we can implement in our business and actually see a difference. Everyone should attend a Thrive Time Business Conference, whether you're a business owner or not. If you're a business owner, it has practical applications that you can apply to so many different parts of your business, and then you need to come back for more so that you can keep doing more of the wonderful things that you learn. But secondly, I am also a mom of 3 kids, and a lot of the concepts can actually be applied to home, like getting routines and getting setting systems at home has just seriously made a huge difference in my life at home. So I've been able to improve our business, but I've also been able to improve things at home, and so that's why everyone should come, no matter what your station is in life.
Yeah, my name is Nolan Q. I'm originally from San Francisco, California. The industry that I'm in is financial services. I've learned a ton so far, but what I can best apply from this conference is the opportunity, that hunger to go out there and make a big difference in my industry. Clay's presentation style is amazing. He's got an endless amount of energy. It's contagious, and yeah, by being here, I really do want to go back and be able to face all the adversity that the industry has. Yeah, this conference, the thing that makes it different is it's special because it has a unique set of individuals that all share that same energy. I think he pegs it as dragon energy, but yeah, everyone should come to multiple, but their first would be very special. Yeah, you're welcome with a lot of enthusiasm. That'll last for a long time.
My name is Gabriella Cruz. Our business is ECS Electric. My husband's the owner, but I'm involved with that, and so we're an electrical company. Well, here at the conference, they talk a lot about consistency, and so just staying consistent with different things in the business, and I feel like applying that to our business model will really help us grow. The atmosphere is very positive, uplifting, and then it's very fun and energetic, and so it gets you pumped and it gets you excited, and it encourages you to do big things. Probably how real they are. They tell you up front what you need to do and what's like a no-go, and some conferences they kind of sugarcoat things, so I like how real they are here. I think it'll definitely, if you want your business to grow, I think this would be a great experience, and then not only that, it'll encourage you and inform you on so many things you don't think about on a daily basis.
Hey, I'm Ryan Wimpy. I'm originally from Tulsa, born and raised here. I've definitely learned a lot about life design and making sure the business serves you. The linear workflow for us and getting everything out on paper and documented is really important. Like we have workflows that are kind of all over the place, so having linear workflow and seeing that mapped out on multiple different boards is pretty awesome. That's really helpful for me. The atmosphere here is awesome. I definitely just stared at the walls, figuring out how to make my facility look like this place. This place rocks. It's invigorating. The walls are super, it's just very cool. The atmosphere is cool. The people are nice. It's a pretty cool place to be. Very good learning atmosphere. I literally want to model it and steal everything that's here at this facility and basically create it just on our business side. Clay is hilarious. I literally laughed so hard that I started having tears yesterday. And we've been learning a lot, which, you know, we've been sitting here, we've been learning a lot, and so the humor definitely helps. It breaks it up. But the content is awesome, off the charts, and it's very interactive. You can raise your hand. It's not like you're just listening to the professor speak, you know. The wizard teaches, but the wizard interacts and he takes questions, so that's awesome. If you're not attending the conference, you're missing about 3/4 to half of your life. You're definitely, it's probably worth a couple $1,000s. So you're missing the thought process of someone that's already started like 9 profitable businesses. So not only is it a lot of good information, but just getting in the thought process of Clay Clark or Dr. Zellner or any of the other coaches, getting in the thought process of how they're starting all these businesses, to me, just that is priceless. That's money. Well, we're definitely not getting upsold here. My wife and I have attended conferences where where it was great information and then they upsold us like half the conference, and I don't want to like bang my head into a wall, and she's like banging her head into the chair in front of her. Like, it's good information, but we're like, oh my gosh, I want to strangle you. Shut up and go with the presentation that we paid for. And that's not here. There's no upsells or anything, so that's awesome. I hate that. It makes me angry. So glad that's not happening. So the cost of this conference is quite a bit cheaper than business college. I went to a small private liberal arts college and got a degree in business. And I didn't learn anything like they're teaching here. I didn't learn linear workflows. I learned stuff that I'm not using, and I haven't been using for the last 9 years. So what they're teaching here is actually way better than what I got at business school. And I went what was actually ranked as a very good business school. I would definitely recommend that people would check out the Thrive 15 conference. The information that you're going to get is just very, very beneficial, and the mindset that you're going to get, that you're going to leave with, is just absolutely worth the price of a little bit of money and a few days worth of your time.
I'm Rachel with Tip Top Canine, and we just want to give a huge thank you to Clay and Vanessa Clark.
Hey guys, I'm Ryan with Tip Top Canine. Just want to say a big thank you to Thrive 15. Thank you to Make Your Life Epic. We love you guys, we appreciate you, and really just appreciate how far you've taken us.
This is our old house, right? This is where we used to live a few years ago. This is our old neighborhood. See? It's nice, right?
So this is my old van and our old school marketing, and this is our old team. And by team, I mean it's me and another guy.
This is our new house with our new neighborhood. This is our new van with our new marketing, and this is our new team. We went from 4 to 14, and I took this beautiful photo. We worked with several different business coaches in the past, and they were all about helping Ryan sell better and just teaching sales, which is awesome, but Ryan is a really great salesman. So we didn't need that. We needed somebody to help us get everything that was in his head out into systems, into manuals and scripts, and actually build a team. So now that we have systems in place, we've gone from 1 to 10 locations in only a year.
In October 2016, we grossed 13 grand for the whole month. Right now it's 2018, the month of October. It's only the 22nd. We've already grossed a little over 50 grand for the whole month, and we still have time to go. We're just thankful for you, thankful for Thrive and your mentorship, and we're really thankful that you guys have helped us to grow a business that we run now instead of the business running us. Just thank you times 1,000.
So we really just want to thank you, Clay, and thank you, Vanessa, for everything you've done, everything you've helped us with. We love you guys.
Hello, my name is Charles Colaw with Colaw Fitness. Today I want to tell you a little bit about Clay Clark and how I know Clay Clark. Clay Clark has been my business coach since 2017. He's helped us grow from 2 locations to now 6 locations. We're planning to do 7 locations in 7 years and then franchise. And Clay has done a great job of helping us navigate anything that has to do with like running the business, building the systems, the checklists, the workflows, the audits, how to navigate lease agreements, how to buy property, how to work with brokers and builders. This guy is just amazing. He's this kind of guy has worked in every single industry. He's written books with like Lee Crockrell, head of Disney, with the 40,000 cast members. He's friends with like Mike Lindell. He does Reawaken America tours, where he does these tours all across the country where 10,000 or more people show up to some of these tours. On the day-to-day, he does anywhere from about 160 companies. He's at the top. He has a team of business coaches, videographers, and graphic designers and web developers, and they run 160 companies every single week. So think of this guy with a team of business coaches running 160 companies. So in the weekly, he's running 160 companies. Every 6 to 8 weeks, he's doing Reawaken America tours. Every 6 to 8 weeks, he's also doing business conferences where 200 people show up, and he teaches people a 13-step proven system that he's done and worked with billionaires, helping them grow their companies. So I've seen guys from startups go from startup to being multimillionaires, teaching people how to get time freedom and financial freedom through the system. Critical thinking, document creation, putting it into organizing everything in their head to building into a franchisable, scalable business. Like one of his businesses has like 500 franchises. That's just one of the companies or brands that he works with. So amazing guy, Elon Musk kind of like smart guy. He kind of comes off sometimes as socially awkward, but he's so brilliant and he's taught me so much. When I say that, like Clay is like, he doesn't care what people think when you're talking to him. He cares about where you're going in your life and where he can get you to go. And that's what I like most about him. He's like a good coach. A coach isn't just making you feel good all the time. A coach is actually helping you get to the best you. And Clay has been an amazing business coach. Through the course of that, we became friends. I was really most impressed with him is when I was shadowing him one time. We went into a business deal and listened to it. I got to shadow and listen to it. And when we walked out, I knew that he could make millions on the deal. And they were super excited about working with him. And he told me, he's like, I'm not going to touch it. I'm going to turn it down because he knew it was going to harm the common good of people in the long run. And the guy's integrity just really wowed me. It brought tears to my eyes to see that this guy, his highest desire was to do what's right. And anyways, just an amazing man. So anyways, impacted me a lot. He's helped navigate anytime I've got nervous or worried about how to run the company or, navigating competition and an economy that's like, I remember we got closed down for 3 months. He helped us navigate on how to stay open, how to get back open, how to just survive through all the COVID shutdowns, lockdowns, because our clubs were all closed for 3 months, and you have $350,000 of bills you've got to pay, and we have no accounts receivable. He helped us navigate that, and of course we were conservative enough that we could afford to take that on for a period of time. But it was, anyways, great man. I'm very impressed with him. So Clay, thank you for everything you're doing, and I encourage you, if you haven't ever worked with Clay, work with Clay. He's going to help magnify you, and there's nobody I have ever met that has the ability to work as hard as he does. He probably sleeps 4, maybe 6 hours a day, and literally the rest of the time he's working, and he can outwork everybody in the room every single day, and he loves it. So anyways, this is Charles Kola with Kola Fitness. Thank you, Clay, and anybody out there that's wanting to work with Clay, it's a great opportunity to ever work with him. So you guys have a blessed one. This is Charles Kola. We'll see you guys. Bye-bye.
Hi, I'm Aaron Antis with Shaw Homes. I first heard about Clay through a mortgage lender here in town who had told me what a great job he had been doing for them, and I actually noticed he was driving a Lamborghini all of a sudden, so I was willing to listen. In my career, I've sold a little over $800 million in real estate. So honestly, I thought I kind of knew everything about marketing and homes. And then I met Clay, and my perception of what I knew and what I could do definitely changed. After doing $800 million in sales over a 15-year career, I really thought I knew what I was doing. I've been managing a large team of salespeople for the last 10 years here with Shaw Homes. And I mean, we've been a company that's been in business for 35 years. We've become one of the largest builders in the Tulsa area, and that was without Clay. So when I came to know Clay, I really thought, man, there's not much more I need to know, but I'm willing to listen. The interesting thing is our internet leads from our website has actually, in a 4-month period of time, has gone from somewhere around 10 to 15 leads in a month to 180 internet leads in a month. Just from the few things that he's shown us how to implement that I honestly probably never would have come up with on my own. So I got a lot of good things to say about the system that Clay put in place with us, and it's just been an incredible experience. I am very glad that we met and had the opportunity to work with Clay. So the interaction with the team and with Clay on a weekly basis is honestly very enlightening. One of the things that I love about Clay's perspective on things is that he doesn't come from my industry. He's not somebody who's in the home building industry. I've listened to all the experts in my field. Our company has paid for me to go to seminars, international builder shows, all kinds of places where I've had the opportunity to learn from the experts in my industry. But the thing that I've found working with Clay is that he comes from such a broad spectrum of working with so many different types of businesses that he has a perspective that's difficult for me to gain because I get so entrenched in what I do, I'm not paying attention to what other leading industry experts are doing. And Clay really brings that perspective for me. It is very valuable time every week when I get that hour with him. From my perspective, the reason that any business owner who's thinking about hooking up with Thrive needs to definitely consider it is because the results that we've gotten in a very short period of time are honestly monumental. It has really exceeded my wildest expectation of what he might be able to do. I came in skeptical because I'm very pragmatic, and as I've gone through the process over just a few months, I've realized it's probably one of the best moves we've ever made. I think a lot of people probably feel like they don't need a business or marketing consultant because they maybe are a little bit prideful and like to think they know everything. I know that's how I felt coming in. I mean, we're a big company that's definitely one of the largest in town. And so we kind of felt like we knew what we were doing. And I think for a lot of people, they let their ego get in the way of listening to somebody that might have a better or different perspective than theirs. I would just really encourage you, if you're thinking about working with Clay, I mean, the thing is, it's month to month. Go give it a try and see what happens. I think in the 35-year history of Shaw Homes, this is probably the best thing that's happened to us, and I know if you give them a shot, I think you'll feel the same way. I know for me, the thing I would have missed out on if I didn't work with Clay is I would have missed out on literally an 1,800% increase in our internet leads. Going from 10 a month to 180 a month, that would have been a huge financial decision to just decide not to give it a shot. I would absolutely recommend Clay Clark to anybody who's thinking about working with somebody in marketing. I would skip over anybody else you were thinking about, and I would go straight to Clay and his team. I guarantee you're not going to regret it, because we sure haven't.
My name is Danielle Sprick, and I am the founder of D Sprick Realty Group here in Tulsa, Oklahoma. After being a stay-at-home mom for 12 years and my 3 kids started school and they were in school full-time, I was at a crossroads and trying to decide what do I want to do? My degree and my background is in education, but after being a mom and staying home and all of that, I just didn't have a passion for it like I once did. My husband suggested real estate. He's a home builder, so real estate and home building go hand in hand, and we just rolled with it. I love people, I love working with people, I love building relationships, but one thing that was really difficult for me was the business side of things. The processes and the advertising and marketing. I knew that I did not have what I needed to make that what it should be. So I reached out to Clay at that time, and he and his team have been extremely instrumental in helping us build our brand, help market our business, our agents, the homes that we represent. Everything that we do is a direct line from Clay and his team and all that they've done for us. We launched our brokerage, our real estate brokerage, 8 months ago. And in that time, we've gone from myself and one other agent to just this week, we signed on our 16th agent. We have been blessed with the fact that we right now have just over 10 million in pending transactions. 3 years ago, I never would have even imagined that I would be in this role that I'm in today, building a business, having 16 agents. But I have to give credit where credit's due, and Clay and his team and the business coaching that they've offered us has been huge. It's been instrumental in what we're doing. Don't ever limit your vision. When you dream big, big things happen.
I started a business because I couldn't work for anyone else. I do things my way. I do what I think is in the best interest of the patient. I don't answer to insurance companies. I don't answer to large corporate organizations. I answer to my patient, and that's it. My thought when I opened my clinic was I can do this all myself. I don't need additional outside help in many ways. I went to medical school. I can figure this out. But it was a very, very steep learning curve. Within the first 6 months of opening my clinic, I had a $63,000 embezzlement. I lost multiple employees. Clay helped us weather the storm of some of the things that are just a lot of people experience, especially in the medical world. He was instrumental in helping with the specific written business plan. He's been instrumental in hiring good quality employees, using the processes that he outlines for getting in good talent, which is extremely difficult. He helped me in securing the business loans. He helped me with web development and search engine optimization. We've been able to really keep a steady stream of clients coming in because they found us on the web. With everything that I encountered, everything that I experienced, I quickly learned it is worth every penny to have someone in your team that can walk you through and even avoid some of the pitfalls that are almost invariable in starting your own business. I'm Dr. Chad Edwards, and I own Revolution Health and Wellness Clinic.
The conference is kicked off. This house is packed. We've got Aaron Antis with Shaw Homes up there. We've got Steve Currington with Total Lincoln Concepts up there talking about what is possible when you just implement, when you do the improvements. It's so exciting. People are going crazy. Michael Levine, writer of many, many PR books, the man who represented people like Michael Jackson, Barbra Streisand, and George Bush. He is standing behind me, speaking to the people here at our conference, talking about branding. One of the greatest branding experts alive today is here at our conference, talking to entrepreneurs. We just wrapped up day one. It was incredible. We had some remarkable speakers. Michael Levine. We just finished with a lady named Jill Donovan, who owns a company called Rustic Cuff, talking about the power of the Dream 100. I cannot wait to see what tomorrow holds. Hey guys, Luke Erickson with the Thrive Time Show here with you. It is day 2 and the energy is high. People are so excited to be showing up. The team is ready. Come on, let's see what it's like to go on in for day 2. Follow me. I tell you what, people are so excited to be here for day 2. It is going to be incredible. Cannot wait to see what today has in store. Right now, here at the conference, we've broken into groups going over search engine optimization. And I know for most of us, myself included, if you hear that term, you go, what is that? What does that mean? That's too techie for me. Well, our experts are breaking it down for people so that you can clearly understand how to come up top in Google. It's doable. It's possible. Now we're in the middle of a break, and what we like to do is we like to give you as much tangible and relevant information from about the start of the hour for 45 minutes. Then we take approximately a 15-minute break to allow people to connect with other entrepreneurs around them, bathroom breaks, and also use this time to just really digest all of the good information that you're receiving the whole time. Right behind me, we've got Bob with his grill gun, melting an ice sculpture. It is awesome. The ice sculpture represents our life, right? It's here for a time, but we all need to have the sense of urgency to implement the things that we're learning so that we can make the most of the time that we have. We are outside. You can see a line behind me. What's going on is that we partner with different companies to help them implement the proven systems over and over and over again. And one of those companies is Master Machine. And so what we like to do is partner with these companies to also help them give samples to other people as they come to the conference and truly get their name out. I just wanted to recap some of the amazing things that have happened today. We've had entrepreneurs like Paul Hood with Hood CPAs. We've had Jill Donovan and Michael Levine come up and just impart so much wisdom and knowledge. We've got an incredible giveaway for one of our TVs. Hey there, Thrive Nation. One of the things that we love most about our business conferences is that we want every entrepreneur to leave with their questions answered. So what we do is we let them put the questions up on the board here so that they can ask their specific questions, and Clay will not end the conference until every question is answered. Behind us, Clay Clark is answering all the different questions that entrepreneurs have brought to the conference. Whenever someone comes here and starts to hear this information, especially for the first time, it just brings about so much anticipation of wanting to actually implement the proven systems and processes. And so Clay always wants to make sure that he answers all of their questions so that they are the most set up for success to be able to go home and start implementing. If you have any questions, email us at info@thrivetimeshow.com. We have come to the end of the 2019 Christmas conference. It was incredible. These entrepreneurs have gotten so many tangible things that they can go and they can implement. Check us out for more information at thrivetimeshow.com. And as we always like to do, we want to end with the boom. 3, 2, 1, boom!
Once I saw what they were doing, I knew I had to get here at the conference. This is probably the best conference or seminar I've ever been to in over 30 years in business.
You're not bored. You're awake, alive the whole time. It's not pushy. They don't try to sell you a bunch of things.
I was looking to learn how to just get control of my life, my schedule, and just getting control of the business.
Planning your time, breaking it all down, making time for the F6 in your life, and just really implementing it and sticking with the program.
It's really lively. They're pretty friendly, helpful, very welcoming.
I attended a conference a couple months back, and it was really the best business conference I've ever attended.
At the workshop, I've learned a lot about time management, really prioritizing what's the most important.
Biggest takeaways are, you want to take a step-by-step approach to your business. Whether it's marketing, what are those 3 marketing tools that you want to use, to human resources.
Now, some of the most successful people and successful businesses in this town, their owners were here today because they wanted to know more from Clay, and I found that to be kind of fascinating.
The most valuable thing that I've learned is diligence. That businesses don't change overnight. It takes time and effort, and you got to go through the ups and downs of getting it to where you want to go.
He actually gives you the roadmap out. I was stuck, didn't know what to do, and he gave me the roadmap out step by step.
We've set up systems in the business that make my life much easier, allow me some time freedom.
Here you can ask any question you want. They guarantee it'll be answered.
This conference motivates me and also give me a lot of knowledge and tools.
It's up to you to do it. Everybody can do these things. There's stuff that everybody knows, but if you don't do it, nobody else can do it for you.
I can see the marketing working, and it's just an approach that makes sense.
Probably the most notable thing is just the income increase that we've had.
Everyone's super fun, it's super motivating. I've been here before, but I'm back again because it motivates me.
Your competition's going to come eventually, or try to pick up these tactics. So you better, if you don't, somebody else will.
If you decide to not attend the Thrive Time workshop, you're missing out on a great opportunity.
The atmosphere of Clay's office is very lively. You can feel the energy as soon as you walk through the door, and it really got me and my team very excited. If you decide not to come, you're missing out on an opportunity to grow your business. Bottom line.
Love the environment. I love the way that Clay presents and teaches. It's a way that not only allows me to comprehend what's going on, but he explains it in a way to where it just makes sense.
The SEO optimization, branding, marketing. I've learned more in the last 2 days than I have the entire 4 years of college.
The most valuable thing that I've learned, marketing is key. Marketing is everything.
Making sure that you're branded accurately and clearly. How to grow a business using Google reviews, and then just how to optimize our name through our website also.
Helpful with a lot of marketing, search engine optimization, helping us really rank high in Google.
The biggest thing I needed to learn was how to build my foundation, how to systemize everything and optimize everything, build my SEO.
How to become more organized, more efficient.
How to make sure the business is really there to serve me as opposed to me constantly being there for the business.
New ways of advertising my business as well as recruiting new employees.
Group interviews, number one. Before we felt like we were held hostage by our employees. Group interviews has completely eliminated that because you're able to really find the people that would really be the best fit.
Hands-on how to hire people, how to deal with human resources, a lot about marketing, and overall just how to structure the business, how it works for me, and also then how that can translate into working better for my clients.
The most valuable thing I've learned here is time management.
I like the 1 hour of doing your business is real critical if I'm going to grow and change.
Clay really teaches you how to navigate through those things and not only find freedom, but find your purpose in your business and find the purposes for all those other people that directly affect your business as well.
Everybody.
Everyone needs to attend the conference because you get an opportunity to see that it's real.